Hi guys, good morning. Oh, let's see here. Good morning, everybody. Doo doo doo. Where are we? Almost there. Almost. There we go. Oh, hi everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hi Pam from Washington State. Diane, I think it was you. I just barely drew prizes. Gosh, from the from our big celebration, International Scrapbook Day, and then also from the week before that, because I was behind in drawing prizes. So Diane, I'm pretty sure you won a prize, unless there's more than one Diane Barnes. Let's see. Oh goodness. Hot in Arizona. Oh my gosh, it sounds like too the entire East Coast, the whole eastern seaboard. Very warm this weekend. Utah, not so much. It was kind of snowing a little bit. Okay, when I say snowing, I mean like little flurries that you could barely even see. That was yesterday, and I'm so tired of it. I just want the nice warm weather. So, hi everybody. Hi Debbie from Boise. Hi Debbie. Sarah, hi Sarah. Yes, Sarah left a very good reminder. Thumbs up, super important if you would do that. Hi Betsy. I just saw, or sorry, not Betsy, Betty. Betty from Nova Scotia. Ooh, you're far away. Hi Carol from Southwest Missouri. Yes, Terry from Terry from Littleton. Gosh, hello everyone. I know I'm totally sidetracked, right? This is what happens. I get totally sidetracked in the chat. So I think it's maybe mid 40s here right now, which is crazy. So here is Utah. I live in Utah, northern Utah. Welcome, friends. Welcome. Happy Saturday. It's nice to have everybody back. It's nice to be back. Ooh, wow, we're totally crooked there. A little bit better, maybe. Oh, it's good, right? I'll flip the camera soon anyway. Anyhow, welcome back. Nice to be back. If you weren't with us last Saturday, we weren't here either. So I had my niece had just graduated college. So my brother and sister-in-law had a nice little kind of graduation brunch for her. So that's what we were doing last Saturday. That's why we weren't here listening together. Oh, I just saw Susan said Susan is cooler in Vegas in the 80s. Crazy, right? When we were saying that, that's cooler. So welcome. If you are new here, welcome. So nice to have you. We love it when we have new folks join us. My name is Lael Kankar, and I have a business called Lael by Mail. And it's been around for 3-ish years full time, but prior to that, it had been around as my side hustle for quite a while. This is what we do on Saturdays when I'm not traveling. We get together here on my YouTube channel and we do what I like to call creative listing. So usually 2 days before, I will publish usually 3 list topics. And some of us work on the list. Well, I shouldn't say some of us because I always work on the lists. Some of you work on the lists right along with us. Some of you are working on completely different crafty related projects. Some of you are working, some of you are cleaning the house, some of you are doing whatever it is that you do on a Saturday. If you're new here, welcome. I have a website. It is called laelbymail.com. And as we're working on our Saturday sessions, I will use different products in my lists. And in many cases, I have those products on my website. So you will see in the description box of the video down below, really long description box, links to a lot of the products that I am using. And if it's not a link to a product I'm using, it's a link to some of the storage organization things that I use to organize my products, because I get asked about those questions all the time. Some of the tools I'm using, different things like that. So you will find links to those in the description box of the video. Other thing that I did since we were all together last, I have an affiliate relationship, with scrapbook.com and also with Amazon. But I spent some time kind of getting those things a lot more organized. So there is now a favorites list that I have on scrapbook.com that lists links to, or not lists, it shows all the products, a lot of my favorite products. And then also on Amazon. The Amazon one is kind of fun because as I started putting crafty related products on there, I'm like, oh, you know what? Sometimes when I wear a sweater or a shirt, you guys ask, or when I mention this or that, you guys ask. So there's a whole page on Amazon that links to my favorite, some of the things all things I've bought on my own, but clothes and around the house items and things like that. So You can always find those things on my website too. There's a page called Favorite Finds right up at the top, and you'll see links to those things as well. So, if you are not new, which lots of you are not new, welcome to you as well. It's always fun to have you back. Whether you are watching live or you're watching the replay, welcome. If you are new, one thing I would love for you to do is just pop in the chat. If you're watching live, there is a live chat that takes place here on YouTube, and you can pop in and comment and say hello, and that's how you see me responding to some people, because I can see their chat. And so I don't say I respond to that, but if I see it, then I can respond. Sarah, a Lael apparel section, I love it. Yeah, just well, Nick sees all the Amazon packages coming, so it's no secret that I like to shop. Now, the good news is that I also buy lots of things for my business on Amazon. Like I buy pom-pom trim and things for kits and things like that. So he's used to seeing Amazon packages. Just sometimes he doesn't necessarily know what's in them, right? Yeah, there's some fun clothes on Amazon that I found. Anyhow, Carol, hi. No, Carla. I'm so embarrassed every time I do that. I'm so embarrassed. Carla, hello. Nice to have you. Glad you were able to be here with us. And Jurist, hi, Jurist. Okay, friends. Hi, Colleen. Nice to see you, Colleen. Oh, another funny thing. I also link to Scatter. Scatter is from Amazon. Scatter's from Amazon with all of his little friends. Because back then, when Scatter came to be, he's all, whoopsie, Scatter and his friends. Back then, when Scatter came to be, was early days of the pandemic, and you couldn't go anywhere, and so I found him on Amazon, but he's also linked there if you feel like you need your very own Scatter. And if you're new and you're wondering, you can see people referring to Scatter Squad or this little guy, our little mascot, Scatter the squirrel. Now you probably have a pretty good idea why, because of my scattered, right? Just scattered, and a squirrel because of squirrel. Yes. Okay, so I think we are, let me just take a quick look at the chat. Second time. Oh, hi, Sandra. Welcome. Sandra said it's her second time at my live. So nice to have you. But yes, if you are new, well, even if you're not new, would love it if you pop in the chat. But if you are new, pop in the chat and say hello. It's a super friendly, oh my gosh, such a great group of people. And it's a large group of people. Sometimes people are here, sometimes aren't. It just kind of depends on what's going on. And then you replayers and you lurkers, right? We love you too. Okay. Tamara said first time live watcher. Well, welcome, Tamara. So those of you who haven't watched live before that have watched a replay, you'll be like, oh, it's pretty much the same thing, because it is, especially when you're watching. If you didn't know that I wasn't live, you just think it was live, right? Because it was. Oh, look at Anne says she has a small stuffed Scatter from Amazon, also Scatter stickers. So I get a little happy mail every once in a while from you guys, and I've had some really fun things. I have a wine glass from a winery where the squirrel is their little mascot. I have this super cute, look at this little guy. Isn't that fun? That little, oh, I don't know, little like glass figurine. Anyhow, yes, the squirrels are part of my life now. Okay, guys, let's do this. We have to talk about some prizes, because I kind of mentioned, oh, across the room, hang on. Whoa, just ran into something there. Don't mind me. Do not mind me. There's a lot of stuff today. There's a lot of things we're going to play with. So, prizes, okay? We're going to talk about prizes. So, April 23rd. Was the last time we were together on kind of our regular listing session before we did our all-dayer. On April 23rd, the prize winner from April 23rd. Oh, Beverly H. Beverly H. And Beverly H wins a Pretty Little Studio Wildflowers product assortment. So the way that you participate in the prizes, not when we're doing our all day, because that's a whole other ball of wax, but generally what I do is when we are together, when we're listing, I will ask you to leave a comment on the video when it's over. So not in the chat, but a comment on the video when it's over, telling me one of the things that would be on one of your lists. And even if you're not listing with us, just mentally, this is one thing that'd be on my list. So I randomly then draw the comments or draw a comment for the winner. And that is how Beverly won. She had left a comment on the video from the 23rd, randomly drew Beverly's name. And there you go. So with all of these, anybody who wins ever, I always reply to your comment on the comment on the YouTube, on the video, whatever. Something distracted me out the window. Anyhow, I reply to your comment letting you know that you won, and I ask you to leave me an email or send me an email letting me know your contact information so we can get your prize out. So yes, that was Beverly. Now, when we were together last on May 7th was International Scrapbook Day. So anytime there's kind of something really big, fun going on like that, I like to do an all-day session. So we did that, and we had a number of winners there. So we had AM session winners and PM session winners. So real quick, Diane Barnes, yes, I mentioned you earlier. Diane won the Sweet Rush bundle. So Vicky's Sweet Rush collection, so fun. Dandy, I think Dandy's, I want to say Dandy's email or Dandy's YouTube is Dandy Creates. I think that's the Dandy. It's Dandy Civitaracella. Yes. Anyhow, Dandy, Dandy won. Oh, Dandy won the $50 gift card to my website. And then afternoon sessions, we had 2 winners. Teresa V won a Welcome Home Collection kit, and Carrie Bright, what a fun name. Carrie Bright won the favorite stamp set. So there we go. Those were the winners from, oh my gosh, our last couple of videos. Real quick thing, you guys, about prizes. If I forget, usually you send me an email because that's the way that I know to ship your prize. If for some reason it does not get sent out, please don't be shy and reply back and say, hey, did you get this? I have a couple of that's happened to. And Colleen, I know you're still haven't sent your prize yet either. So we're actually heading out of town this afternoon in our RV for a couple days again. We'll be back Monday afternoon. Those of you that have the class Monday night, don't worry, we'll be back by then. But next Tuesday, I will get the prizes sent out. Okay. So that, oh, someone's birthday. Oh, Diane, happy birthday tomorrow, Diane. That worked out well. That's fun when you win for your birthday. Colleen kind of won for her birthday too when we were together. So that's fun. All right. Let's go ahead. I think, one quick housekeeping. We will not be together next weekend. So next weekend is Memorial Day weekend here in the US, and I will be out of town. So we will not be together next weekend. And then we'll be together the first weekend in June, and then I think not the second weekend because we're traveling anyhow. So just kind of stay tuned. You know if we're not going to be together if you don't see anything come up on my blog or social media on the Thursday or Friday before. All right. So, but I will try to keep you guys posted as well when we do this. Okay. I think that is the last of our housekeeping. 2 more things really quick. Monday. So Monday, what's today? The 21st. Monday, the 23rd of May, we have the Let's Get Crafty mini book class, the live class. So if you purchase that kit, remember that is Monday night. Wednesday night, we have the June setup for the early summer traveler's notebook kit. So if you purchase that kit, we have class Wednesday night. Speaking of the traveler's notebook kits, this weekend I'm taking a few things with me, and probably first week of June-ish, I don't know, we'll see, maybe next week, I will put up the summer traveler's notebook kit. So that will be for the months of July and August. Those are almost already kitted and ready to go. So I just have to design. And then, another traveler's notebook kit, maybe next week, we'll see. It is a travel themed traveler's notebook kit with Maggie Holmes' road trip collection. And the summer, my gosh, there's a lot coming. There's a lot I have to do. The summer lovin' mini book project kit and new stamps. 4 new stamp sets. I should have my samples early next week, which means I'll put them up for pre-order next week too. All right, friends, that's a lot. That's just a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and I'm going to flip the camera and have a sip of coffee real quick, okay? Ooh, that was a little over-exaggerated. Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera and then we'll see if we need the lights, even though it's like 45 degrees outside. Well, I also sweater, but you know, own personal summer all the time. So here we go. Yes, the new stamp set, super excited about those. Oh, they're so fun. I can't even wait. Ah, Terry, yes, what time do I need to stop? Well, it'll be interesting. Harvey is loaded and ready to go. So actually, Harvey is our RV, if you are new here. Oh, let me plug in. I'm thinking about you, Colleen. You're thinking about me, making sure I plug in. So next golfing. Normally, when we go, so far we've really only gone on Saturday afternoons because I'm with you guys. I want to be with you guys. And so we go when we're done. And Nick is golfing. Excuse me. Nick is golfing. Nick's my husband. So he is golfing. And he's like, okay, we're going to leave at 2. And I'm like, oh goodness, if he's going to be, anyhow, but yes, everything is completely ready to go in Harvey. All the meals are already made that we are going to be eating and grilling and whatever while we're out, and ready to go. So that's good. Literally, we can just get in the car and go. Yesterday was our 27th wedding anniversary, and that's what we did. I mean, it's good. We got everything ready to go out of town in our RV, so that's fun. We had plans tonight for a really nice dinner out, and then we scrapped those because we decided to go get out of town in Harvey. So yeah, all right, let's start out by lots of stuff here, friends. Yes, Terry. So really, I think one-ish is about when when I need to be done. Thank you. Yes, thank you for the anniversary wishes. Oh, Cartini. Cartini. Is that how you say that? Cartini Rumerman. Hi. I'm just curious if you're new because I don't remember seeing that name because you have a very unique name. It's beautiful. Cartini. I don't know if I pronounced that right. All right. Oh, it's Victoria holiday in Canada on Monday. Oh, so let's see, on Monday. So this coming Monday, Colleen? Or is it like our Memorial Day, kind of that same weekend? The last weekend, maybe? Oh yes, Sarah, we're really having fun, and we're trying to use him as much as we can. It's just we're hoping the weather gets better soon. Hi, Brittany. Plan on your life. Okay, let's go ahead and chit chat. Oh, plan on your life. You love my channel. Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So what I usually like to do is start out in case you happen to miss when we were together last. I like to just quickly show or talk about the list that we did when we were together last time. So last time we did 2 lists and we had to cut it short because, gosh, why? Where did I had to go somewhere, but I don't remember now. I don't remember. I had to go somewhere. Yeah, isn't that funny? 2 weeks ago, I can't even remember. Oh, now it's going to really bug me. Karen, did we get snow in our area? Just little flurries. So nothing stuck, but flurries. Yes. So last week we did 2 lists. We started out with our about last month list, and our about last month list is a list that we do the first Saturday of a new month. And this is my way of documenting kind of all the whatevers that happened that prior month. So you can see I still need to finish this, right? I still need to finish my list. But the good thing is I have all the things. I have all the things. Oh yes, this is from last week, or the last week we were together. I have all the things already on my list. So really all I need to do is just finish because I have to do this ahead of time in my workbook. So that was our first list. We played around with our about last month stamp, and then also kind of created a little background with one of the bullet stamps. Okay, Colleen, yes, this coming Monday. And is it the same? Is it like a Memorial Day? So Memorial Day here is honoring the service men and women who have lost their lives in service. So I don't know if that's the same thing in Canada. All right, our second list. Oh, this one was fun. Top crafty memories. And I finished it. So we did not finish it together, but I finished it in between when we were together last and now. And we played with these huge die cut numbers. And those big die cut numbers are from Pretty Little Studio. And I have 3 different patterns of those on my website. But those of you that were with me last Saturday, you can see this actually it didn't take a turn, but I ended up doing a couple of things to it. And I thought we'd just talk about that for a quick second. These letters, or excuse me, numbers, really busy, right? They're large, but they're really busy in that they have the text, kind of the dictionary text going on in the background. And when I first put them down, they just were kind of blah. I mean, they were really fun and I love the size of them and I love the font, but they were a little blah. So I came in with a colored pencil and you can see where I have outlined the each of the number die cuts with a colored pencil. And that just really made them pop. So when you're working with something like that, that's kind of neutral and or busy, in this case, neutral and busy, outlining those really just kind of made them pop. And the nice thing about that is you can take something like that really doesn't have a color to it and then work it in with whatever color that you're using or whatever color palette that you're using just by pulling out a colored pencil. When we were together, I had done the journaling. So I have 6 things on my list, but I had done the writing behind this one. And again, lots of black and then lots of black in my writing. So I actually came in and just created boxes around each of those things. And I first started out with orange, and then there was a lot of orange. So then I almost did like a double box. So you have orange colored pencil and then pink colored pencil. So it just kind of then pulled everything together a little bit more. Then to kind of add a little bit more color, I added little stickers. The collection I had used here is the Simple Stories Let's Get Crafty. So I had used little stickers from the sticker book, and then little word strip stickers, and then even little heart stickers. So just kind of helped to pull all of that together. Yeah, the outline, I agree, Nancy. Outlining, well, you guys know I outline everything I do, usually just with the black pen. But a lot of times if you feel like you either need to separate things or add a little bit of additional color, super easy to do that with the colored pencil. So I use colored pencils quite a bit. All right, so there we go. Those were our 2 lists from last week. So one of the lists that we didn't get to, well, I shouldn't say last week, when we were last together. How about that? Because we were together. What? Oh yeah, no, that was from International Scrapbook Day. Wow. Okay, so the very last list that we did not get to finish, we didn't even get to start on International Scrapbook Day, was something called In the News. So in the news is kind of came about, well, really it was a little bit of an offshoot from this list. So about last month, this list, when I was doing it, I don't know, for the last year and a half prior to the start of 2022, my about last month was a mixture of things that happened in my life or my family's life, yeah, you know what I mean, friends' lives, whatever it was. And then news mixed in, kind of news, world events, different things like that. And there was always way too much to fit on this list. So I started thinking, well, it'd be kind of neat to separate the list. So about last month is me, my world. And then in the news is not my world, right? Definitely affects me, right? Affects us. The things that are happening in the news certainly affect us. But I thought it might be nice to separate out those 2 lists because whether I am doing my in the news list in an entirely separate Traveler's Notebook insert, which I could. If I did that, I would have a whole insert just full of month by month, kind of what was happening in the news. What a great time capsule to look back on, right? Or what I do, I just mix in my in the news every month in between my other lists as we go. So, excuse me, as I was thinking about kind of this concept and doing an in the news type list, I thought, well, might as well have a stamp set that goes with that. So this is the In the News stamp set, and the In the News stamp set has, yes, that big typewriter on the bottom because this is, well, at least for a while, this is how I'll always be doing this list. The typewriter was designed, I have that typewriter designed to have a piece of paper. In this case, our list is coming out of the typewriter. And then you have titles in the news. You have breaking news, this, week, month, year, world, currently, today, last, local. So you can define, what your in the news list is really about: local news, world news, this month, last month, this year, last year, whatever it would be. And then you have typewriter numbers. And then you have a couple of other fun little titles like extra, extra, and then lots of fun little icons. So that is the stamp set that I will be using today. But I was thinking this morning that I wanted to kind of switch things up a little bit in terms of the way that I do this list. So the left page, I'm going to switch up just a little bit. The right page, this is a 5x7 photo. The 5x7 photo I print from my Epson PictureMate PM400. That is linked in the description of the video. But this is the when I'm printing my own photos, as opposed to maybe doing like a full size, which I love to get from Persnickety Prints because they now do the full size that matches the width and height that we need. I use my Epson PictureMate. So this is the print, the 5x7 photo that I will be using for today's list. This is in the news for last month. So these would be things that were in the news for the month of April. And that's how I'm going to do this list. So none of these photos are mine, right? How fun would it have been to be at the Masters when, Tiger Woods or anyone was playing, but I wasn't there. Certainly wasn't at the Queen's birthday, right? She turned 90. I'll have to look at 90 something. I'll have to look at my list when we get going. Hi, Robin. Good morning. So where I get these lists, where I get the photos, I just go to Google. So I go to Google, and for example, I searched for Queen Elizabeth, and that was a photo of Queen Elizabeth, and I save it to my phone. You could do the same thing on your computer, but I find the photo that I want, save it to my phone, and then in the Epson PictureMate, I pick a template. And this is one single photo that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 separate, like individual photographs on it, right? So this is just a template that is available in the Epson Creative Print app. So it's the Epson Creative Print on the App Store for Apple, or whatever the Android store is, the Google Play, whatever. But they have an app for both. So all I did is say, I want a 5x7 photo, and I'd like to have 8 little photos on it, and then move my photos in, print it out. There you go. So that is our plan. And it probably won't happen this week, but I will make it, this coming week, but it will happen the week after that, where I will do the video now that this one is done. I've got 2 inserts there. Just a minute. That goes there. This guy goes there. Okay. Oh my heavens, there we go. Now that I have, this insert is complete. I will do the video like I said I would do, where I stitch this now back together, and I put a cover on it using the bookbinding tool that I have. So watch the next 2 weeks for a video on that. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Let's put that little guy out of the way. So what I thought I'd do today, I thought it might be kind of fun to switch up the way that I do the left side of this list. I think this will be the 3rd month that I've done an in the news. So this always goes over on the right side. At least when I do it, it always goes to the right side. What I need to do is I need to trim this down just a tad. The reason I need to trim it down just a tad, this is 5x7. The inserts that you see me use all the time, these are called standard wide. So standard is 8.25, wide is 5. So you might think, well, wait a minute, Lael, if this is 5 and this is 5, why do you need to trim it down a little bit? Well, you lose a little tiny bit of width right there in the center, right? You lose a little tiny bit of width where it is held together. In this case, it is staple bound. So I'm losing a little tiny bit of width. That is why I just need to narrow this down just a tad. So I'll just take a little tiny bit off of the right side, and let's see what we get. Oops. Don't mind that. That's something I'll be doing in a minute. Yes, 96. Thank you, Colleen. I'm sure I have that in my list. Hopefully I've said in there that she's 96. All right, I'm going to take just a little tad bit off of this side now. Just a tiny little bit. I also have, I know, a video coming of about the Epson Picture Mate and the app and all the awesome things that you can do with the app. So now that I've trimmed down a little bit of that white border all the way around, I might as well trim a little tad bit off of the top and bottom as well. Okay, now we should be ready to roll. Don't get well, you can, but a lot of this stuff, this will not move. It's washi. I'm going to move off to the side a little bit so I have just a little bit more room to work here. Those are for our other lists that we'll be doing. Alrighty, so there we go. That is now ready to go. And I pretty much always put that in the same space. But what I want to do this month, I've pulled out clear stickers. So clear stickers. These are from Pretty Little Studio. I have these on my website. I've also linked to them in the description box of the video down below. So I worked with Pretty Little Studio. I actually included these in this year's year in review Traveler's Notebook Project Kit. So Melissa, wonderful Melissa at Pretty Little Studio actually created these for me. So you can only get them from me. Anyhow, I thought that this might be kind of fun to use April. Right? So if we use April, then I think what I might also want to do, let's look at this. Oh yes, okay. So there's two things I use quite a bit. One is label stickers. The other one is word strip stickers. So I have a whole little container of label stickers, or excuse me, label stickers or label die cuts. I like to use labels a lot. So I think maybe, let's look. I'm thinking that, actually, I'm going to come back to that in a minute because I want to do the left page first because I'm going to incorporate a little bit more color than I normally do. So we'll put that on hold for a sec and let's go ahead and, whoops, excuse my reach. Let's get this ready to go in. Okay. Oh, look at Susan. Okay, Susan M&O. Let's talk about that for a minute. Susan said, I cut down a kid's notebook that I got last year from the dollar spot at Target. Decorated the front. Maybe I'll dive inside today. And that's a really great point. So you guys, I use Traveler's Notebooks, right? They're my thing. They are my thing. But really, when we are doing what we're doing, you can use anything you want. If you have a composition notebook, if you have spiral notebook, you can make a list on anything. So it doesn't have to be a Traveler's Notebook. If a Traveler's Notebook isn't your thing, or you're like, I don't know if I really want to do this or not, I want to kind of maybe dip my toe in the water, pull out an old composition notebook or something and see. The other thing is you don't even have to use a notebook. You could use a piece of paper. That'd be a good way to start, is a piece of paper. So Susan, you could make a list on a piece of paper and have it, cut it to the size of the notebook that you got. And then if you kind of like it, then adhere it in like I do. Kathy said, I was just looking for a container like that to hold 6x8 paper pads. So, I have many of these. This is what, so you'll see I have this right now, Kathy, for all my word strip stickers and then also some sticker books. But I also have another one of these that I use to store 6x8 pads. This piece is from scrapbook.com and I have links to all the organization things I use in the description box of the video as well. And scrapbook.com right now has a big sale going on all of their organization, their exclusive organization products. So that may be something to look at. I like this guy because I can fit a lot in there. And then I also like that they can sit. Let's pretend like, well, I'll just show you. Walking across the room, hang on. Here's another one. 6x8 pads. So I can fit my 6x8 pads like that and just come in and go, oh yes, that's the one I'd like to use. If you looked through here, if you ever had any question if I was a Maggie Holmes fan, most of the pads in here, create paper, most of the pads in here, Maggie, and I know if, Kim, I don't know if you're here or not, look at Maggie, and Heidi. Kim knows I love Maggie. Okay, anyhow, that is, Kathy, what I use to store my 6x8s. Okay, Jackie, I did not see your message earlier about Ready, Set, Create. I don't know. Okay, hi, Barbara, welcome to your first live. All right, let me put these back and we'll keep going. We will keep on going. So here's another thing that I'll mention. When Jackie said, did you see my earlier message? As you guys are putting things in the chat, sometimes the chat goes really fast. And if I'm working, I totally miss it. So if you asked a question or you made a comment and I didn't respond to it, it's not you, it's me. I probably didn't see it. So don't be shy. Ask again. All right, so here we go. I wanted to do something a little bit different today on this side. So what I thought I'd do, normally I am just stamping directly on here and it's pretty plain, but I thought it might be fun to maybe do something a little bit different this time, bring in a little bit of color. So I pulled out the Let's Get Crafty paper pad because there's some pretty good colorful neutrals in here. This guy, very colorful, right? Nice bright pink. So I thought, maybe I could do this. Maybe this could be my background. And I thought about pink just because of the Queen. The Queen has the pink on. So I thought, well, that could kind of help to bring in a little pink because there's a lot of blue here, right? The sky, Twitter, and the background for Ketanji Brown Jackson. Hi, Lynette. Welcome. Oh, Jackie. Oh, you're in a crop with Ginger, Joey, Andrea, Lisa, Rosamond. Please tell all those wonderful women hello for me. All right, so we need to trim this down. As I said, I pulled this paper from the Let's Get Crafty 6x8 pad, and I like to use 6x8 pads in my traveler's notebooks because 6x8, this is 5 by 8.25. I have to just trim a little bit. The other nice thing about using 6x8 is that most manufacturers that do 6x8s, the pattern is scaled to size. So if I was cutting down a 12 by 12, and sometimes that's the only option we have because the company doesn't make a 6x8, but my pattern is scaled down to size. If I was using a 12 by 12, I'd have the same pattern, but it would be much larger. All right, so I need this to be, I always trim my background to 4 3/4. And normally, let's see, if I do 1/2 and 1/2, okay, I got to do a little bit of math in my head here, guys. So 1/2 and 1/2. The reason I'm doing this is because, oh, that's not 1/2. That's 1/2. Is because this paper clearly has corners, right? Well, it has corners, but in the design, it also has a corner. And I didn't want it to have one corner and not another corner, if that makes sense. All right, but now it is 5, but I don't want it to be 5. I want to have a little bit of a white border around it. So I need to do, I think, like that, and then that should get me to 4 3/4. There we go. And I like to do 4 3/4 because it already has a 1/4 inch white border around it between the top and the bottom because this is 8.25 and this is 8. So then if I trim it to 4 3/4, I get that 1/4 inch all the way around. Well, not really 1/4 inch, but 1/8 of an inch, I guess. All right, so now I like to round the outside corners. So we'll do that now. My little corner rounder. And that'll just go right there like that. Let's go ahead and adhere that down. I know, look at that pattern too. That's a good pattern. It's interesting. Up until this point, I really haven't done anything colored, a colorful background, because it kind of seemed like it's a little bit weird. You know, to put, the news is usually pretty heavy, right? It's usually pretty heavy. And so it does maybe seem a little bit odd to have a nice colorful over here. One thing that I always like to mention when we do this list, friends, the news is heavy, right? The news also tends to get very political. So I ask that as we start listing and as I start putting things on my list, we refrain from any kind of political comments in the chat. Okay, that's really important to me because this should not be a political place. This is me making a list of the things that I wanted to note about things that had happened in the news, in this case in the month of April. So let's keep it light. Well, it's hard to keep it light. We're really, let's just not get political. Okay. Oh, that washi. I haven't talked about it yet, Lynette. Yes, that is one of the 2 washies from Spectrum Sherbet from 49 and Market. So this one is the Insta postage. But look at that. Is that not, we're going to use that on our second list. But I love that. And it's cool because, well, I'll just show you really quick. I'll pull off one of these ends. So look at postage, perforated, like postage stamp, right? That's why it's called postage. Isn't that cool? So you could actually use, you could do some really cool, fun block things with all the different colors, or you could use it as a full strip. Okay, let's put that up there. Documenting history in the making. You know what, Joy? Absolutely. That is, Joy said, when I document these things, I always say I'm documenting history in the making. Yeah, and it's heavy. Sometimes it is heavy, right? Okay, so I don't want to do my list on here, though. That's like really bright. I need some white because I like white, usually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out a piece of white cardstock. And I haven't tried this yet. So we're going to see, we're going to try 2 different things. I need to stamp the base of my list. So that is the base of my list, right? The typewriter. Actually, I don't want to use that one. That one is nice and unstamped. So I have it for photography. So let's go ahead and get out the dirty one. The one that has been, oh, nope. Those were all samples. Here we go. Here we go. That's what I mean. See, that's what, well, means it's well used and well loved. All right. Oh, this is also another scrapbook.com storage. You could even put, watch this. So I put my Simple Story sticker books in here, my Alpha sticker books, but you could put 6x8 pads in these as well. Okay. All right. This is, yes, it's been used. It's just this one I must have cleaned really well. All right, so here is my typewriter. And I'm going to try 2 different things. So first thing I'm going to try is I'm going to stamp the typewriter. I want to stamp the typewriter on this. Terry, those aren't, when I say those are samples, they're just samples of all of the current stamps. I should have the samples of the brand new stamps in, I think this week. So as soon as I have them, you guys will see them. All right. So I want to try 2 different things. I think it might be fun to stamp the typewriter on a pattern paper, right? And this is pretty neutral. So let's try it and see what happens. And if we don't like it, then we just won't use it, right? That's easy. We can try things before we have to commit. All right, let's see. Work on there. Nope. This guy. So this is a stamp block set that I have on my website. For this stamp and for the grid in the About Last Month stamp set. So this guy that we use, this guy, you need to have a stamping block that's a little bit wider, right? So this set, it wouldn't fit on that. It was too wide. So it'll fit on that one. And then put those back. All right. So I do want to use black because I'm going on a pattern. This guy is the black that I use for typically anytime I'm stamping black. This is the only ink that I have currently that I sell on my website. It is the VersaFine Clair Nocturne. So it's a pigment ink. We talk about pigment inks. We talk about dye-based inks. This one is a really nice, crisp. It just makes the nicest, crispest. Wow, that's a hard. Crispest. It makes the nicest, crispest. Golly, that's hard. Stamped impression. All right, so you'll notice what I'm doing. There's two different ways that you can get ink on your stamp, right? You can apply the ink pad to the stamp, or you can apply the stamp to the ink pad. This is just my personal preference. I feel like I have a lot more control. When I say control, I mean not getting ink all around my stamping block. So I prefer to apply my ink pad, my ink to the stamp. All right, so Terry said, just put the stamp on the paper to see if you like before you stamp. Oh, that was a good idea. Let's talk about that. What Terry is saying, I'll grab this other stamp. What she is saying is, I can really just I can just do this. We'll pull that backing off. Before I stamp, I'll have to re-ink that. But before I stamp, I can just put this right there and lay it on top and see if I would like it, right? That is a great tip, Terry. So I actually didn't even have to pull the stamp off. That is the sheet the stamp's on. And so that is that black is printed on. So yeah, I think I'll like that. I could also change it, turn it that way, but I don't like it that way. I don't like the vertical stripes and then kind of the horizontal. So I think I'm going to like that. So let's try it. Let's see what we think. Let's try it. Oh my gosh, you guys. So if you follow me on social media, maybe you on either Instagram or in the Lail by Mail Facebook group, boy, after we did our all-day session on the 7th, oh my gosh, I was burnt out. And you know what? It happens. It happens. And when it's your business, it gets a little hard for that to happen. No, still shipped orders for sure because there were a lot to ship out. But I did not walk in my craft room. I did not walk in my craft room for 10 days. I didn't post on social media for 10 days either. I was just burnt out. And so the giant mess that was here, it stayed a giant mess for 10 days. And then I said, okay, I think I'm ready. And then I cleaned everything up and then kind of got things organized and then started slow, kind of getting back into the crafty game again. Well, not game, but working on crafting related projects. And you know what? I bring that up because that's okay. It happens, right? It happens to all of us. So for me, when I am burnout, you know what? I just step away. Sometimes forced creativity is the worst creativity, at least for me. Which sometimes it has to be forced because if I have to release a new project kit or something like that, I don't have a choice. I just have to kind of work through it. But when I can step back and not be creative, sometimes it just does wonders, right? It does wonders. So if that happens to you, step away, right? Step away, and then come back to it. Just don't let it be too long, right? Because I know, because some of you tell me it's been years. But also I think what's really cool, when you tell me it's been years, you also tell me that the creative listing that we do has given you kind of your joy of crafting again, because it's a totally different type of crafting, especially if you were a scrapbooker. So just chatting away while I'm doing a little fussy cutting here. So you can see I am not in tight. I'm not in, oh, hi, Ariana. It's so nice to see you, sweetie. Ariana is our 14-year-old lister, and I love it when she's here because I think it's so important that the younger generations are still being crafty, whatever it is, but being crafty. So very nice to see you, honey. Okay, here we go. There is my typewriter. So now, look at Totally different, right? Very different. And I realize everything that's going to be on my list is really heavy because it's all this news and war and inflation and Chris Rock snap or Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars and all those things. So, but it's okay. I can bring in a little color, right? I can bring in a little color. Oh, I know what I was going to show you. Just the contrast in that list, right? So still the same thing, but that's a way to bring color in. Even if you didn't want to have to use a background like I did, you could still just do this. Do your stamping on a piece of pattern paper. You could even do your stamping on a piece of colored cardstock, and it would still just bring in a little bit of color. Let me bring that up so you can see. I know sometimes with the lighting, it's a little bit harder to see, but you can see that fine little pattern behind it. It's subtle, right? Now I could have done a floral or a stripe or something like that, but I wanted it to be fairly subtle. If you want to bring in color, but you really don't have pattern paper, let's talk about our colored pencils again, because that's what I did here. I just colored that typewriter in with a colored pencil. Okay, so now I am going to, I need to make my list because I don't want a list on here. I just want that to be my background. I need to make my list. So in comes my white cardstock. And I want this to be, boy, I could probably, let's just look. Oh, here it is. My pencil, my pencil. Oh, there's something really fun coming. Do you guys want to see what it is? I just ordered them, so they will be here. I don't know how long it'll take to get here, but look at this. Okay, I thought about this because I grabbed the pencil, but look at this little thing. There's our little scatter. It comes with a, this is a pen, not the pencil, it's a pen. And then it's just a cute little notebook. It's just a cute little notebook. Isn't that fun? Yes, so those are coming soon. Anyhow, all right, mechanical pencil. So let's do this. Let me come in here and see where I want this paper to start. I try to have the list be kind of as wide as possible, because we've got a lot to put on here. So what if it goes right about there? I think that'll work. Oh, I know, it's fun, huh? And I know I have a thing about little notebooks, because really, I have lots of notebooks, right? I have lots of notebooks, traveler's notebooks, but something like that, just a good little thing to throw in your purse or throw in your glove box or your school bag, or I don't know, whatever it is, your briefcase, or your mom, your diaper bag, or I don't know, your dog backpack, whatever it is, just to have as a nice little thing to write on. All right, so that will be my list. Now let's figure out, okay, face fan time. Oh, what? Hold on. Oh no, never mind. It's in the other room. Gosh darn it. Okay, we're just gonna be hot. We're just going to be hot. All right, so let's see where we need to stop our list. If we go here, I think I like it to stop. I like it, that little border. See how that little border, those little lines, that's supposed to be like a craft mat. I like to have that at the bottom because it kind of gives us a nice little line. And then I think we'll probably stop it. I don't know, maybe about right there. Let's look. I know, little small ones. Oh wait, hold on. Diamond Willis. I didn't see Diamond Willis. Welcome, Diamond Willis. Welcome. All right, here we go. Cut that little guy off. Yeah, mechanical pencils. I use those all the time. I've used those for years, but especially when it comes to our listing and things, a lot of times I'm making marks or I do something and I need to erase. It's just really nice to have that little, it's a good one. I think it's a good one. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm glad I waited over here because I don't know, we'll see. Cardstock, this is just white cardstock it's a Nina Bright White. Don't do that yet, Lil. And I get it off of Amazon. When we talk about stamping, now I didn't stamp on white here, right? I stamped on a pattern paper. Your stamped images, sometimes I hear from you guys and you say, oh my gosh, my stamps don't look as good as yours. When I stamp, it doesn't look right. A lot of times, excuse me, the paper that you're stamping on can make or break it. So for example, when you think about a photo, when you think about having a photo printed, whether you're printing at home or you're printing at persnicketyprints.com or you're, uploading to Walgreens or Costco or whatever it is, the photo paper that you're printing on means everything because your photo is your photo. If you have a beautiful photo and you print it on bad photo paper, it's just not going to look right, right? But if you have a beautiful photo and you print it on nice photo paper, then it looks great. Same thing with your stamping. If you have a beautiful stamp, right? We have this beautiful typewriter stamp and we stamp on a piece of paper that is either super thin or it's got texture to it or it's not flat. It can affect the stamped impression. So I always say, well, what kind of paper are you using? When you say, oh my gosh, my stamping doesn't look right. What kind of paper are you using? That's a big one. And then the next one is what kind of ink, right? What kind of ink? Okay, so there we go. Now I don't use pop dots or foam squares, foam adhesive in my Traveler's Notebook inserts because I like them to be, well, let's be honest. I was going to say I like them to be flat. When you're done, they're not flat, right? Because I add a lot of other things, but the things that I add are flat. It's just, they get pretty full. So if I added pop dots or foam adhesive, this would start to get really big. But if I was using this stamp, maybe on a greeting card, maybe on a fun birthday card. How fun would it be to make a card and have that be my base? And then up here, I just write happy birthday or love you or whatever. And that's kind of the front of the card. I would for sure use, foam to help kind of lift it up, give it a little bit more dimension. Oh, Colleen, that's scary. Severe weather in southern Ontario, Canada. Yes, be safe. Oh my gosh, there was a tornado in Michigan yesterday, and I guess that's very unusual. Weird weather, weird weather. Okay, there we go. Now, I need to, let's see if this has any moisture to it at all. Lele. I love your name, Lele. Lele, is that how you say it? Lele? It's fun. We have, oh, that's not wet. Let's see, can I get a little water out of here? We have two boys, Jack and Sam. Jack is 24, Sam is 21. They do not have children. Nothing wrong with having children at that age. They're barely, I shouldn't say they're barely taking care of themselves. They're both doing extremely well in life and have good jobs and they're happy and that's, But I don't feel that they're ready for children. Not my decision, but in fact, they're not even sure that they want kids. I don't know, that's a whole other thing. But I have made it very clear that if and when they have children, I will not be called grandma. I will not be called granny. I won't be called Grammy. I want to be called Lala or Lele. Lala or Lele. Lele. So Lele, that is why I bring that up because your name is Lele. Yes, I thought Lala or Lele, then that's probably Lala. I think Lala, that would be cute. No Grandma Lala. And then some of you share with me, well, guess what? Your grandkids are going to call you what they want, and then that's just who you're going to be. They won't be able to say a name or whatever, and then that's just what it's going to be. Now, Jack and Sam keep threatening, jokingly threatening. They're like, no, if we have kids, they're going to call you, I don't know, Mima or whatever. They have fun with it. So, all right, let's put this guy back, and let's now go to my headline in the news. I do want to use that. So let's stamp this little guy next. Nana. Yeah, you know what? And here's the thing. There are Nanas. There are Grammys. So in my family, my mom and her mom were Grammys, Grammy. And I am not a fan of that. Nothing wrong with it. Again, nothing wrong with it. That's just not, I don't want to be called that. So, yeah, that's what we joke about. But there's all kinds of things. Mima and Peepaw and different parts of the country. My grandpa, my dad's dad, was Papa, P-A-P-A, and that's what we called him. And in the later years, so I don't know, I was an adult for sure. I don't know, we were talking about something. Okay, so now let's just try something. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but maybe we should try to bring in a little blue, maybe for our title. So let's see. And this is what happens. I start telling a story and then I get totally sidetracked because my brain won't turn off. Anyhow, I think I had taken him out to lunch or something, and we were somehow got into the subject of his papa, and he said, I never liked that name. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, here I am. I'm probably 40 years old. And he tells me he never liked that name. I'm like, oh my goodness. Then why did we call you that? He said, because when you guys were little, that's what you called me. And I was Papa. So you're like, oh, I love that. Oma or Omi, right? Different parts of the country. German. Mickey. That's cute. Mickey. Mimi. Yes. Oh, your niece calls your mom Mimi. I love that. And we actually, there's a Mimi. There's a real Mimi, not a real Mimi. Mimi is her name. Here, Joe Meme, lol. Oh my gosh, Talia. Talia said my parents are Lolly and Pop, Lollipop. Oh my gosh, I love that. Diane, you're a Grammy. My kids called my mom O.M. Marge. Nick's mom, we call Grandma C because her name is Carolyn, so she's Grandma C. Oh, bop. That is so cute. Yeah, you know what? I mean, the kids just, that's whatever they, when they're little, they don't know. They just come up with something and that's what it is. All right, so let's look. I don't know. Terry's going to tell me I'm not going to like this. Babka. Oh, that's nice. Ms. L, you love being called Grandma. I love that, right? There's another Mimi. All right, so if Terry's here, she's going to tell me, Lael, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it if I am going to use the blue. But I just saw something that I thought, maybe that would work instead. No, not weathered wood, not ice spruce, not, but hickory smoke. So here's something interesting. If I want it to be a little bit lighter, I could do hickory smoke for my title, and then we've got smoke, but we have kind of gray in there. We also have gray in this background, but I want to see if maybe a blue. I don't know. The blue is going to be tough for me. I just don't know if it'll work. So what I'm flipping through here, I am flipping through my ink swatches. I have a stamp called Swatch This Inks, and that's what I use it for. I swatch all my ink colors, so it's really easy for me to, look at Salty Ocean. Salty Ocean would work. You know what? Let's just do it, right? Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. I know, Lolly and Pop, that is darling. So Karen said, I love using gray as blue is too hard to color match. Right, because if you look, I mean, sometimes you have a blue that's a little bit more purple like that. That's a good navy, but all the blues are hard. Blues are really hard because you get different hues to them, right? So a gray would be a really nice option if you didn't want to use a black, like you didn't want it to be as dark. And so what was that one I had? Let's look again. Not weathered. Well, weathered wood could work, but I was looking at hickory smoke. Yeah, hickory smoke's a nice one. And these, I prefer what I use. I use Distress Oxides. So Distress Oxides, what was the blue I was thinking? Maybe Salty Ocean? No, not Mermaid Lagoon. Salty Ocean. Salty Ocean. Salty Ocean's like the Twitter color, but then not really that. So I don't know. We might have to go with Blueprint Sketch. So Blueprint Sketch is a little bit more of a purple tone to it, doesn't it? Maybe Blueprint Sketch. Let's look. All right. Here we go. So when I use inks, I talk about, I prefer distress inks, and that's just personal preference. Lots of different inks out there. So many colors in the distresses. So there are two types of distresses. There's a distress ink and an oxide. The oxides are a pigment-based ink. I call them juicy. To me, a pigment-based ink is like a juicier ink. See how I get a nice kind of solid coverage. Different properties. Dye-based inks versus pigment-based inks have different properties. Pigment-based inks usually take a little bit of time to dry. I mean, not a significant amount of time, but a dye-based ink, it's pretty much ink, dry after you stamp it. I have a link to an article in the description box of the video down below. It's almost at the very end of the description box. It is a great article at scrapbook.com that talks about the differences and illustrates the differences between a distress ink and a distress oxide. and different properties and when you might want to use one over the other. And I don't do mixed media. It's just not my thing. It's amazing. It's beautiful, but it's just not my thing. But if you are doing any kind of ink blending and pigment-based ink, the Distress Oxides blend very well. All right, so I've just pulled out my little composition notebook, and this is generally where I will test stamp, right? This guy needs to move because it's in my way. Oh, but that rainbow, is that just not, whoopsie, look at that nice little curly. The cutest little rainbow. Okay, so let's take a look at, we'll stamp both of these. I think I'm gonna stamp first with the hickory smoke, just because it's lighter. I'll start light and then I will, I'll start light and then I will clean it off and go to dark. I got a little bit of ink there on my ink pad. So let's just clean that off. I always, always, always test stamp first. Always, always, always. It's a really good habit to get into because you can test color, right? See if you like it. You can test to make sure your stamp is straight. If you are stamping with alphabet stamps, you can make sure that you've spelled the word correctly. And then if you have a brand new stamp that's never been used before, you always want to prime it first. A couple different ways that you can prime it, but for me, the easiest way, because I want to see how it looks anyway, is to just do a test stamp. All right, so that would, you know what? I don't know. It might be that one. It might be that one, I think. So let's, now, I'm just going to kind of, I hate it when your wipes get dry. If I wasn't live with you guys, I would just walk into the bathroom and just lightly wet this wipe. But I don't want any of that gray kind of affecting the color now that I'm about ready to try. Again, Blueprint Sketch. Yeah, that's the one we thought we might like. Let's see. Ariana said I should start to do that because I just go for it. So here's the deal. I know, because you guys tell me, sometimes you are really scared to stamp, right? You're afraid to stamp because you don't want to mess up. I get it. You don't want to mess up. So number one, if you do a test stamp first, that will get you a little bit more comfortable with it, right? It'll get you a little bit more comfortable with it. But the other thing is you can get a better feel, I think, for it, right? All right. So what do you guys think? Someone said double stamp. First the shadow stamp in gray, then the blue one on top. So watch this. We have that. Ooh, don't grab that, Lael. Oh, here we go. So let's look at that. A lot of times having a gray stamp is great, or gray ink, because you can use it as a little bit of a shadow, right? You can use it as a little bit of shadow. So let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. So if I go like this, this is also where your clear stamping blocks kind of help because you can see a little bit. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. So I made it offset a little bit. Look, I like the blue, gray. The blue is great. Blue doesn't go with your pink. All right, so let me bring this up. You can kind of see that offset. And when you're doing an offset like that or kind of looking for a shadow, a gray is a really great color to use because if you use black, it's just too much. It just is like way too heavy. But, oh, let me bring it down. Sorry, it takes a second. But see how that, you can kind of see that little shadow. So that could be fun. All right, so we've got the blue or we have the gray. Let's go with the gray. Well, I'm going to go with the gray. Oh, now I for sure need to get this cleaned off because I will have lots of blue on there. Really need, okay, you guys, hang on. I need to go clean that off really quick, okay? Hang on. I mean, not clean it off. I need to wet it. I'm coming. If you're using baby wipes to clean your stamps and clean your fingers and all of that, and they go dry, just get a little water on it, and then your ink will come right off. All right, but then you also want to You also want to make sure that that is dry before you stamp again, because if it's not dry, it's still a little damp. That's going to affect your stamped impression, right? Especially if you're working with the pigment-based ink, because you can do cool things with pigment-based ink and water. My friend Vicky tells me. Okay. Oh, there we go. Dino 914 says I keep a little spray bottle of water on my desk. That's a great thing. Just a little spray bottle. All right. So now I'm just whipping that back and forth to try to make sure that's dry. All right. So let's come back in. We're going to go with the gray. And that one is, what gray was that called again? Oh, hickory smoke. Duh. It's right there. Hickory smoke. And I know some of you don't like black because it looks really harsh. You feel like it looks really harsh. So gray is a really good option. It's a good alternative. Alrighty, we're going in. So here's the thing. When you're stamping, you got to stamp with purpose, right? If I'm like, I'm bound to mess up. So, oh, hi, Diane. Okay, so I want to stamp with purpose. So I have to basically say, okay, I'm going in and go, right? If I waver or falter, not going to work. I also want to make sure I get a nice, good stamped impression. So I'm going to make sure I've kind of pressed down. There we go, in the news. Now, a lot of times what I'll have us do is before we stamp, if we've been playing with ink for a little bit, is to check our fingers before we stamp and use that little, use one of your wipes to clean your fingers, because you don't want fingerprints, especially inky fingerprints on your list. At least I don't. And I've got like a little bit of dirt there, so, but that's okay. All right, so there we go. It's pretty neutral, right? Pretty neutral. But let's look back at this list. Same stamp set, right? Same stamp set for our list. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Same stamp set, but it's just looking totally different, right? Because we have changed the color of our title and then put a background on and then stamped on a piece of pattern paper as opposed to coloring it in. All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is, I think I'm just going to, you know what I really wish I had? I probably do somewhere. I just don't know where. It would be fun if I had basically a line, a stamp that's just a line. So I could just stamp like that. Okay, I'm playing, you guys. We're just playing. And a lot of times that's what we do here, right? And so that's why sometimes it takes us a really long time to get through a list, because we're playing. So I want to try something. I want to try something. Where is that stamp? Oh, here we go. Look at, very well loved. The library card stamp. We will use this in another one of our lists today. But what I wanted to see is if I try to mask, because that could be my little line that goes there. I would like to have the line in gray, right? Otherwise, I just draw it with a pen. But it might be kind of fun to have that little line right there. So if I try this, is that long enough? Maybe. So there's a sticky right there. Okay. I'll put another sticky right here. I think I'll be okay. Let's just see. I am going to, so I kind of have a reference point since I just covered up that title. I'd like my list or my line to kind of be maybe, I don't know, about right here. I'll just draw it in pencil just so I have a little reference point since I'm not going to be able to see in the news. So masking. I'm masking off the area that I don't want it to stamp, right? Masking off the area. And then let's see. Oh gosh. Oh, here we go. All right. So since I'm looking for a stamp that has a line, and so this will work. This should work, right? Okay, so now my problem is I'm going to get, let's see, I need Do I have more? I need more sticky notes. Let's see if we can make this work, because I also don't want to get here, right? Or here. Oh, look at that, Cindy. I think Cindy's looking for a new stamp set. Different types of lines. Thick, thin, dashed with, without arrows, dots. Oh, that could be fun, huh? It could be fun. All right, I don't know what's going to happen really here, guys. Right? All right, let's test it first, right? Let's test it first. I don't know, I could totally mess this up right now, huh? I could totally mess it up. Let's come back here. And I wanted to do it with this. So I can already try not to get ink on part of this, right? I can already try to keep ink off a part of it. I don't know, that's not gonna work super well though. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so I think it could work. And interestingly enough, look at this. It is like the width of that is like the exact width of that in the news. That's not done on purpose, I promise you. That would be cool if I thought about things like that way in advance. With 2 different stamp sets that were released 2 different times. Were those released? I don't remember. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see what's gonna happen. Oh, okay, look at, that's a good suggestion. What if I put washi on the stamp? Let's try that. The only thing, okay, I think what might happen here, let's just play. But this is where we play, right? This is how we learn together. If I put washi on the stamp, then if I'm inking, then it's going to get, oh wait, so if I put washi on the stamp and I ink and then I take the washi off, I don't know, will that work? Let's try it. Like if this goes right here, we make a little mask on here too, yeah? It might not stick because I have ink on there. Probably won't. Like that. Let's try it. Ink the top. Okay, let's try it. All right, look at all the things we're playing with. Take your baby wipe and add a little water to the whole package to moisten the whole pack. Oh, yeah. All right, see, let's try, because I think, oh, I don't know. I'm a little worried here. Let's go in again this way and see what happens. Let's just put this right here. Oh, now I also can't see. With the washi on there, I can't see where I'm putting it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what just happened. I put washi on here, and then it was impossible, well, kind of impossible, not to get the ink on this part of the washi. So now what I need to do is I need to pull the washi off. I'll re-ink it again, but I need to pull the washi off because the ink that was on here when I stamped, see, it still came through. Yeah, Ms. L, take the washi off. Yeah, blonde hair. Sometimes the blonde hair gets in the way. Sometimes the blonde hair gets in the way. When I've masked before, I've done the first technique that I did. I do the like sticky note on the paper. I've never done it with washi on the stamp, but that will totally work too, huh? There we go. And now my fingers. Other thing is we want to, I need to clean up my fingers now before I stamp because I don't want to get, come on. I don't want to get, my heavens, that one just does not want to come off. There we go. Oh, sorry. I don't want to get the, yes, I'm definitely not an inky mixed media person, you can tell. All right, let's just try it. Let's see what happens. Let's see of our 2 different techniques. Oh, I needed to rub them on my pants. All right, if there's any ink left on here, it's going to be a miracle. All righty, here we go. We're going in. Is this going to work? It's gonna work. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I hope. Da, 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 da. Look it. Okay, the only thing is I got a little bit of ink right up there, but you probably can't see that, so that's all right. Now, before I come in and try to erase that pencil line, I want to let that dry, because if I come in right now, because it's a pigment-based ink, if I come in and try to erase that, I'm probably going to smear the ink. All right, so that was a fun little experiment, wasn't it? That's a fun little experiment. Now I've got the double line, and I wanted to get the double line, all of that to say, in the ink color. So I think maybe I need to make a little note here about maybe a new stamp set of some lines, huh? There's so many stamp sets planned. Because I do things like that a lot to separate my title from our list that we're about ready to make. Okay, so here we go. Now I need to, I want to do the April in here. Now I'm worried I've got ink all over. I want to do the April in here. So let's come back to the labels. Hi, Belinda. Let's come back to the labels. So that masking that we did and talking about the sticky note masking, that's a fun way, especially if you have like a script stamp or a stamp that has words on it or maybe flowers or something like that, to get part of your image on something and not get the whole thing by doing masking. So let's see what we have. We probably don't want to use black. No red. Yeah, I'm not going to have any colors that I will like. Well, we could do a pink. These are just a little bit larger, right? These are larger labels. We could do a pink down here for April. Let's see, April. I'm just going to, even though it's clear sticker, I'm just going to cut it away so I can try to get a better feel for the sizing. So April would fit, and that's way too big. It would fit in that one. It'd fit in that one. What if, oh yeah, we can't do it there. See why we can't do it there? Hi, Marilee. Oh, Cal Poly Pomona. My mom and dad both went to Cal Poly Pomona, Marilee. Both. All right, so this, if I put this up here, I can't put this up here, and this is how you have to pay attention to where you're putting things, because I put it over that guy's eyes, and then there's this weird little nose sticking out, which would kind of be weird. But I could go down here if I wanted. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Maybe we'll just do, no, I don't want that either. I'm not being very decisive today, am I, friends? Let's look at all of these guys. I think will be a little bit too, oh, someone said green, right? Oh, I don't know. We could try to pull in a green, right? Let's see what this one would look like. This is a little bit more of a teal color. There's probably a green one in here. So if I put a, oh yeah, no, see, way too big. And that one I can't really chop off unless I go like this and then put April there, and then it's weird. I think we might go back to this. Let's look at this again. Let's look at this one. If it went there and then April went there, because it fits in there. Oh, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Life is too short to just be waffling on where to put a little sticker, huh? All right. Let's just put this right here. It kind of fills in the blank a little bit. And then I'll take that clear sticker, April. And we'll pop it right there. Oop. Actually, let me get my tweezers out. This will help me. All right, here we go. There we go. And then it was April. Black. Yeah, that's fine. If I wanted to, I could have stamped April and then it would have been fine. Then it would have been in that gray color, but that's okay. All right, let's get all those things out of here. Now, when it comes to your list, right? When it comes to my list, where my pen and my, where'd my eraser? Oh, there it is. I put it back where it belongs. Fancy that. Am I okay to start this yet? The erasing, yeah. And now I gently, right? I'm not pressing down really hard. That's why pencil will always come in handy. And I've just got a little bit of, just a little bit of that gray ink right there. So I am using my little white gel pen to write over that gray ink. And I just, in essence, erase that. Now I can't do that there, but that's okay. All right, so in the news. Yeah. Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. I'm fine. I don't like that bottom, but guess what? It is what it is. It is what it is. I can already tell. I'll be working on this list later to do something to it. I don't know what, but I will be fixing it. Because this part's it's not making me happy. And now I'm just outlining. All right. So now what I'm going to do is use this guy. The white space is bugging you. I know, in the bottom of April. I know, it totally is, right? Terry knows me so well. All right, it is. So something will change there. I don't know what'll happen, but something will change. Oh yes, I need a bullet stamp. Bullet stamp, and where is it? Oh, heavens. Nope. There it is. So I need to, I could do this list in a lot of different ways. I could use the typewriter stamps if I wanted to try to pull out the top. I don't know, however many would fit. 1, 2, I could put numbers, the typewriter numbers there. If I just wanted to, so for example, if I just wanted to do these 8 things for in the news, I could probably, let's just look. I could probably figure out a way to, let's see if I could make 1 through 8 fit on here. I know I might need to do washi under there, Jill. Right? I might need to do washi under there because that would help fill in that space. So if I have a 1 here, right? And then if I have an 8 here, in this case, the only things that would be on my list for the month would be these 8 things, right? So that would be there. I think they'd fit. I think if I wanted to do that, all of those would fit there. Let me look at my list. I have a lot more things on my list that happened in the news last month. Some of you I've seen, I think, talk in the Facebook group about how you how you keep track of the things that happen over the month in the news. And what I will do, I have just a little note open on my phone, and it is a combination of things that I add to my about last month, and it's a combination of things that are going to be in the news. And if it's either watching the Today Show or one of the news feeds that I get, if there's something on there and I think, oh yeah, that's something, I just start adding all the things. And then when it comes time to document the things, then I can narrow down if I need. But there are a lot of things here. So I think instead of doing this, I have more things that I want to include on my list. So I won't do the 1 through 8 to correspond with the 8 photos. I am just going to do a run-on list. Now, what did I just do with that stamp set? I need to put them back. Where did they go? Where did it go? Oh, Terry, that's a brilliant idea. Terry said, oh, that little notebook that you're bringing in would be perfect to jot down your about last months. And What did I, oh, here it is. About last month's and in the news, right? That's a great idea. Okay. All right. So I am just going to do bullets. I'm going to do a run on. So run on is, let's do this guy maybe. I don't think I've used this guy before. This is the little check mark. So circle with the check mark. That's like it happened, right? We'll grab the little stamping stylus and put that little guy right on the end. Oh, okay. This one might be a little bit harder to do because I can't quite see. Let's get our book out again. Golly, this is gonna be like a 2-hour list, you guys. It was on the floor. This is gonna be a long list, but we played with lots of different things, right? We played with different techniques and, oh, isn't that cute? It'll work. Okay, so if you're new or if you haven't been here in a while and you're not sure what I'm doing and what I'm using, this is a stamping stylus. It is invented by a couple of people through different ideas, Levon Wood, Sarah Foss, and Lael. Long story that I won't get into, but this little guy, when you have a small stamp like that and you put it on the end of this little stamping stylus, look how easy that is to just do your little stamps like that. So that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to use the gray and I'm going to start my list like that. And the first thing on my list, this seems like, because this was April, this is probably beginning of April now. FDA approves second booster. FDA in the States is the Food and Drug Administration. FDA approves second. Okay. And then we'll do another little guy. Remember, if you missed out earlier, no politics. We're staying away from politics. Tiger Woods plays in the Masters, right? So it doesn't have to all be Masters golf tournament. Doesn't all have to be like really heavy news, right? That was good news that he played. They didn't think after he got in that horrible car accident, maybe that he'd ever walk again, let alone play golf again. Yeah, this is just have to, I mean, good or bad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that good or bad at all. I did not mean that, because why would that ever be good? Will Smith slaps Chris Rock at the Oscars. So it's your list. You get to decide what goes on it, right? You get to decide what things you want to be on your list. Now, if you live in a different country than I do, the things on your list might be very different than mine, right? You live in a different city, in a different state. Weisbrot, your first time catching you live. Oh, yes, wonderful. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here live. We are just, well, finishing up. Are in the news list, our first list. Senate, the Senate confirms. I have the spelling right there. Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. Which is well, historical because she's the first African American woman on the court, and then also obviously she's female, and there aren't a lot of females historically that have been on the Supreme Court. Oh, this was one. This was good. The Coda wins the Best Picture. At the Oscars. Coda, that's good. If you have not seen that, it is a film about a girl who is not deaf, but she lives in, her parents are deaf. And so it's very fascinating, and it's a fiction, but it's a very interesting, and it's a very good movie, very inspirational. All right, so this is the last one that I'm going to write, and then I'll come back and finish the list later because, you know, we can move on to something else. Carrie Underwood wins her '25th Country Music Award, CMT. No, I'm just going to say CM Award. CMT. It's a CMT award. Okay, there we go. So, there we go. There is my, there's my list, the start of my list. Okay. I will finish it maybe before we're together again. We'll see. And this will change. I can already tell. I know what part of my problem is. What's bothering me is this space up at the top and then this space at the bottom. So probably what I'll end up doing is either picking this back up and moving it down, or moving it up and then kind of dealing with the space. But right here, do you see how this is just kind of there? That's bugging me. Normally, when I have done this list in the past and I have that space, I haven't put anything in the space. Well, oh shoot, let's move that. Except for that, right? I have that there, but you don't notice the space in the space as much. You really do here. So we'll finish that one later. All right, let's go on to our, before I do that, with these little guys, make sure you come back in. Make sure you come back in and put your little stamp back down, because these are so little that if you don't do that, you're going to lose them. You'll just lose them. And we don't want to lose them, right? We don't want to lose them. Okay, there we go. There is our first list. Oh, golly. Our first list. Okay, list number 2. Let's put some of our things away, though. If we can put some things away. Ouch. That's got me. We can put some of our things away. It'll make life much easier on us, right? Oh, well, we need that out right now because we'll be using that for our second list. You just put those things in there. Whoopsie. Debbie, you're not late. Never late. You know what? Because you can always go back in and watch the rest later, right? Later. Okay. List number 2 is... Oh, yes. Okay. We're not going to use this one yet. This will be... Actually, I'm going to switch that. I'm going to save our third list for things I miss when, because it's actually going to dovetail into one of our lists for the next time as well. So if we don't quite get to that, then we'll be okay. So let's go to our second list is I love the feeling when. I love the feeling when. Oh, yes, thank you. Colleen said, remember to give the video a thumbs up. Yes, that is such an easy way to support me. Just thumbs up on the video. And then also leaving a comment on the video after. That's also another great way. Super easy, takes 2 seconds of your time, but it's very helpful. All right, I love the feeling when. So this was a list suggested by Jane in Brussels. Okay, Jane in Brussels. She said it'd be fun to do a list about I love the feeling when. And you can define, obviously, I love the feeling when, whatever it is. You love the feeling when what? So that is going to be my list. Now, I had my list all sketched out, and then, oh no, confused about the last list. Okay, so I love the feeling when. On this list, I'm going to use Heidi Swap's new Sun Chaser collection. And I love this collection. I love it for a number of reasons. But one of the reasons is it's very summery. It has lots of fun summer things to it. But also at the same time, it's neutral. It's a lot of things that aren't specific to summer at all. So let me get those things out. The other reason I love it is because of these. I mean, word strip stickers, you know, are my thing. And then the colored ones, so good. All right, so I think maybe two-page list, one-page list. I don't know. I had originally thought one-page list, but now I don't know. So let's look. I knew I wanted to use this guy because this is just, I love that rainbow, that really subtle rainbow, kind of watercolor rainbow. So, well, I'll figure that out in a minute. Mimi has been asking for a while for me to show how to use a tool again. So there's lots of education today. That's what I'm going to do. On this list, I am going to create a pocket. Hi, Lulu girl from Sydney. Nice to have you join us. Glad you slept in a little bit, right? Oh no, watching your election. Ooh, I'm sleeping. Terry, that is from Sun Chaser. So it's linked in the description of the video. This is the Sun Chaser paper pad. Look at that, isn't that? So when we talk about part summer, but part not, so that's can be super neutral. That's a good super neutral one. This one, I love this paper. We're gonna do something with it. I don't know yet what we'll do, but I love this. Rainbows, of course, right? So cute. That's another fun one, kind of a rainbow-ish pattern. Little cactus, good stripe. We might use, I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use that. Look at cute little like watercolor popsicles. That's another, that rainbow, look at that. Just kind of that, whoosh, so pretty. A good neutral, beautiful. So look, doesn't this kind of look like the sky and then the clouds and kind of a nice pinky sunset? A yellow, this is cute too with those little hearts. And the stars, yeah, no, it's fun. It's a good one. It is a good one. So I'm gonna use maybe that one with it, we'll see. All right, so we are going to work with the pocket punch board. So the pocket punch board, the reason why I bought the pocket punch board, and then the reason why I then bought it and brought it into my store, my website, is because it works really well with this guy, our really messy, dirty here. Let's look. It goes really well with the library card stamp. Okay, the library card stamp. Oh, Beach Gal. Okay, hold on. Beach Gal, let me write it down. Beach Gal just made a list suggestion, so I am going to, my workbook, I'm going to move to our list of lists. This is our list of lists, idea list. This is a list of things I say yes to. Chocolate, no, things I say yes to, and that is from Beach Gal. Okay, yes, I love it. I love it when you guys suggest lists, and I write them in here, and then eventually we get there. Okay, yes, pocket punch board. I do have it on my website, but what it does, well, it makes a lot of different size pockets, okay? It makes a lot of different size pockets, but what I like to do with it, I will show you, is, hang on. What I like to do with it is make little pockets for our library cards. So this would be a little pocket for a list, and then I would stamp my library card like that. So I've just stamped that on white cardstock, and I'm just going to, let me cut this out. If I want colored library cards, I can stamp on color. If I want pattern library cards, I can stamp on pattern. If I want my library card to be white, but the stamped image to be color, I can stamp with any color. So I had just pre-stamped that just to save us a little bit of time. And that's something that you can do if you're like, I've lost my mojo, I'm not feeling creative, but I still want to do something. Well, get your stamps out and pre-stamp things like that. If you use a library card stamp a lot, well, pre-stamp a bunch of them so you're ready. You have them already ready to go when you're ready to work with it. So there is my stamped library card, and look it, it fits in there perfectly. So now I have a nice little, my list will go on here, and then I have my library, or my pocket that we're going to create out of pattern paper. All right, so those are just two little samples that I put together. But we're going to take a piece of paper and we're going to create that using that little punch board. It's super easy to use. All right, so punch board. It comes with these two little arms, so they go like that. These little arms have grooves in them. This is where you're doing your scoring on the pocket. Things we wouldn't have said in the 80s. Okay, so really quick, I will add that. And someone else had kind of did a similar suggestion to that. I just have to sidetrack for a second or else I won't remember that, Debbie. Things we wouldn't have said in the 80s or 70s or 90s or whatever. Hang on. In the 80s. Things we didn't know we needed. That is similar from Mimi. Okay, so here we go. Yes, I just pulled those out. Those are with the little grooves. Those are where we're going to make our scores. And when we look at that kind of deconstructed pocket, where did it go? Where did they go? Oh, here we go. When we look at our deconstructed pocket, you can see there's score marks, score marks, score marks, and that's how I know how to fold it together, like that. Okay, so on the back side, you have a couple of things. You have a scoring bone folder, okay, right there. And then you have this little instructions. So the instructions tell you how to assemble or cut and then assemble. And then you have this little guy. This little guy slides right into this little hole right here, okay? And this little guide is what is telling you what size paper that you need for what size pocket, all right? So what I have done, I've made a mark around this particular size because this is the one I use most often because I want to have a pocket that fits the size of a library card. So it tells me if I want a pocket that is 3.25 by 3.5, and right here it says pocket size in inches, paper size flap. I need a 7 by 5 piece of paper, okay? So if I want my pocket to be, I think I want my pocket to be out of this, all right? I think. Although, let's do it out of this. Because if this is in it, then that's going to be kind of a lot of black and white. So let's do it out of this. Already told me for that particular final pocket size, I want it to be 7 by 5. So I could go bigger. I could go smaller. I mean, I could make a pocket that is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I just need a 9 by 8.25 piece of paper. Look it, I can go all the way up to, I can do a pocket, well, you can see your little guide here will tell you all the different sizes and then the paper that you need. So that's the first part. So my pocket needs to be 5 by 7. So here we go, 5. And then this is 8. So if I just take an inch off, there's my 7, 5 by 7. All right, first step. Then I'm gonna bring the little board in. And I know this is the top because that's where you can tell. If I was this way, it's not the top because that is would be sideways. If you don't have a punch board, you can Google pocket sketches. Yes, so Scrapbook Sista, you totally could do that. You can also, they make pre-made pockets, right? This is a library pocket. It is actually a big sticker. So if I peel that off, it's one giant sticker. These guys I have on my website. And I actually have 2 different versions of them. I have some that come like that with a real true library card that if you don't want the stamp or you don't have the stamp or don't want to mess with stamping, you have that. Or this, where it's just the pocket and that's it. So it's kind of would be less work than having the punch board. But then also, it's white. I mean, just plain. All right, so here we go. What this little thing told me right here was guide label. For this particular size, I need D, 2. So I have these little things. These little pieces right here remind me of the game Battleship, right? Remember the game Battleship where you took the little ships and you put them in the little places? Well, this says 1, 2, 3. Well, my guide told me 2, so there's 2. And this one says A, B, C, D, E, F. It told me D2, so this will go in D, right? I would be moving this in different places based on the size of my pocket. So for example, I could do a pocket that was 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and it would tell me to go into A1 and then start working. So yeah, this little guy is nice because it just tucks right. It's kind of your brain. You know exactly what you need. And it tucks right underneath the bottom, which I better do right now because I'll lose that. Because that's all I need it for right now. All right, then you have this little guy. This has a little blade on it, okay? It stores right there. I am first going to start with my paper like this. So I'm lining up this edge with this edge. Bring that down. My little blade comes out and that little part sits right in that little part. And I go whoop, and it just made that first punch, or that first, not punch, but that first cut. All right. Now I want to turn it over to the other side. Get that lined up again. Pop that down. And next thing. Okay. There's my second one. Now I want to, oopsie, hold on. Let me put that back because now I want to do my scoring. So let me put that back. Oh, I need to get my little scorer out. Oh, and we need to put that back too because it's a sharp blade. All right, let's put that guy back in there. And now I'm going to lift that up and I need to do my scoring. So score right here along this line. And then right up here along the top. And then, whoopsie. Oh, there we go. And then I'm going to flip it this way. And, oh wait, hold on. Flip it. There we go. Flip it that way. Flip it that way because I just need to make my other line right here. Line that up. And there we go like that. Okay. Then this guy comes in. This guy comes in. Oh, UPS is here. And then this guy folds right up. I didn't get that corner quite. I didn't get that corner quite in there. Hang on. Hang on. Let me just get this. There we go. All right. So fold it in, and there we go on that new scored line. So there is my pocket. And I can make big pockets, small pockets. I can make square pockets. I can make rectangle pockets, which is one of the nice things about the punch board because you can get all different kind of size pockets. So then up here, I have this little guy will make a little notch up at the top. So if I come in like this, I want that to be right there. I'm lining that up and punch, and then there's my little notch right up at the top. All right, let me pull this back over and pop this guy in there. No, get it off to the side. So now I want to come in and put little adhesive right along this edge. Like so. And then my adhesive right here. And seal up that pocket. All right, so there's my pocket. Now, my pockets can be solid color. They could be cardstock. They could be white. They could be whatever I want. Now what I want to do though, I want to come in and do my little outlining because it looks kind of plain. The other thing I can do, let's say, should have done this before I outlined. Let's say this pocket might be really tall. Maybe I want a pocket that's a little bit shorter. So I could come in, this little guy will go in the top, sticks out a little bit, but what if I wanted a little bit more of that to show like that? So for like my title, well, I could just come in and snip. If this is too high, then I can adjust the height of my pocket accordingly. It's really the width that I want, right? I want to have that width. All right, so if this goes on here like that, we need to trim this paper. Let's trim this to, hi, Carolyn. Oh, baseball, how fun. How fun. Wait, what was, let's see. Terry said, if you buy the large scrapbook pads of paper and you don't like all the papers, I use those for pockets. I use the white side and it uses up lots of pattern papers I would never use otherwise. So basically what you're saying is this: if you buy a single-sided piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper, so single-sided, it's white on one side, pattern on the other, and if you really dislike this pattern, doesn't mean that you have to throw it away. You could use it for a pocket and then you have the white. I'm going to take it a step further. You could also do the same thing with a list, right? If you don't like this pattern, use the white side for one of your lists. All right, but I like the pattern. So we are going to trim this one to 4 3/4 because this will go right there, 4 3/4. This will be the base of my list. Nice little rainbow there. We need to round the corners. Oh, so the steps that I just showed you where I put it in there, did it, and then flipped it, and then did the other side, and then scored and all that, that is all explained in this guy. Okay, that's all explained in that guy. Just so you're not going, oh my gosh, how am I going to remember to do that? It's all in your little guide. All right, so if this goes here, this little guy goes here. Oh, so interesting. If I do it that way, then it's almost like this green is just growing out of the green there, which that works. Okay, so the title of this list is, let me get there. Oh, I love the feeling when. So let's start looking at some other things that we could work in. Stickers. Oh, well, you make me happy could work, right? Because, hello, I love the feeling when. That could work. Then we have all of these are kind of classic Heidi, all of those big label stickers. Then, oh gosh, I had all kinds of die cuts up here now that are all moved around. I heart you, right? That could work because I love the feeling when, right? That could totally work. Maybe I heart you if I'm loving the feeling when. So I still have to figure out where to do my title, right? What if we tried this? What if we got out some black letter stickers and it said, I love the feeling when. So a little bit on top, a little bit below. That could work. I don't know if that's gonna, oh, well, look at this. This could work instead, right? That's kind of fun. So this is one of the title die cuts. It's a bunch of what you see here. These are title die cuts from, oh no, that is Heidi. You can tell because that's her handwriting. But all of these are title die cuts from Happy Heart from Pink Fresh. So those are linked in the description of the video. I will use one of those on our last list. I don't think we'll end up getting into it today though. We've been playing too much. So that would work. That could totally work. And I could still say, I love the feeling when, right? And then have love there. So if we did that, then let's look and see still what else we have. Oh, So Happy. No, So Happy won't work. That's not gonna work. Let's look at some Puffy stickers. So I need something to kind of go right in here. Oh, what could be fun, we could use like one of these little tab stickers to go up here at the top. So you're kind of pulling the, we're kind of pulling the list out. My favorite. I mean, that would work. Thank you, Terry. 1 more hour. Break up the green with some washi. Yes, I totally could. Right in here. Is that what we're talking about? My favorite. So my favorite. Now, what I'd have to do here is, if this went here and it's pulling it out, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see. This is washi from the collection, from Sun Chaser. Boy, I'm cutting that funny. Yeah, there's a lot of green there right now, isn't there? Oh, I know one thing we could do, though. If we stop this here. Oh, you know what? I probably better put my... You can tell I'm clearly just thinking out loud, you guys. I'm just thinking out loud because I still need to put my title. So maybe before I do anything, I need to put my title. Let's look at that first. That's pretty decorative, right? So you probably know what I'm going to jump to. I'm probably going to jump to this. Probably going to jump to that one. Oh, although... What if we did white, you guys? Hi, Carolyn. What if we did white? See, I rarely get to use white because I use so much white for my list, right? But we could have this be our title. Should we do it? All right, let me do this. Let's get this down first. Let's get this down first. It's so funny. You guys know how I say that when we're doing this, I'm just totally talking to myself, and then some of you are listening. Well, I was trying to clean out my closet the other day, which is that task never ends. And at one point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am totally talking to myself, and I'm talking out loud. I think it's because now I'm so much in the habit of talking out loud when I'm doing these, because I'm like, oh, let's try this. No, wait, let's try this. Let's try this. That now I just do it all the time in person, into myself. You know what I mean? Not in person. Okay, so if we had this here, and we do, I love the feeling when, but this is what I was thinking. I was thinking we could use this, my scallop washi, my black scallop washi. So if that went down, and we just have to see, because if that went there, normally this is super, well, it's pretty transparent, but when you put it on that green, you can still see the bottom. So what if I did, what if I took this, and I won't get in really close, shoot, but what if I came in and just kind of got rid of that little transparent at the bottom? And then it looked like I have this really cool die cut. Now, you know what's funny? After I do this, we're going to look at an alternative, because this is a little bit of work, right? This is a little bit of work. We might not want to go through all this work. There is an alternative. It's not black, but it could be a lot of fun still. Hang on, let me just get this little part done. Let me just get this little part done. I know this is boring, sorry. But you saw how it looked before, right? You saw how it looked before, because you could still see. Now, if I were to put this washi tape down on white, you wouldn't see all the white part that I'm cutting off, but we could kind of see it, and I didn't want to be able to see it below. That's probably wide enough, right? Let's just see if that's wide enough. All right. So if this went right here, not really wide enough, but that's okay. It would be fine. That's fun. Now, what I was going to say would be an alternate to that would be here. Also from Pretty Little Studio, like the a bunch of these punch out labels. Punch out. Look at these punch out. I have more from Wildflower, I think, but that could also work. Like if I was looking for a black and I didn't want to have to go through that whole thing that I just did, I could just punch out like that little guy. And be gentle not to rip it. And that could go down there along the bottom and said, oh, look at what I could do. Look, we could kind of have a double scallop if we wanted, right? Oh, I like it. Let's do that. Double scallop. Oh, now the only problem is I have not put my title up there yet. Okay, we better get the title in before I start having a problem. Oh, tiny heart washi. Yes, tiny heart washi could work too. So that is what Terry's talking about, little tiny heart washi, which would be cute. Oh my gosh, you guys, somebody sent me the cutest card, handmade card, plastic containers. These guys, Karen, these ones? No, these were from the dollar store. They usually come out, these big ones. These usually come out around July or August because they're in like this back to school section. Those are really hard to find. Trust me, I bought them one year and then now I've been trying to find them ever since. They're hard to find. All right. So that will be cute. Okay. Up here, I need to do my title or else I'm going to start running into problems. I need my little ruler. Oh, heavens. I'm a little bit all over the board today, huh, guys? But you can tell that I get excited. I get excited. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's try that. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Yeah. I need my ruler, though. I don't think I used it yet today. Oh, there I did. Okay, here we go. So the reason I need my ruler is because I am going to get my title ready. I love the. So I'm a little bit odd. I use lowercase most often. I don't use uppercase a lot. I don't know why. I just like the look of lowercase better. So I am putting this on my ruler, and I'm putting this on my ruler for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's this little horizontal line here that I can line my stickers up on to make sure they are straight, right? Make sure they're straight. And then you'll see the other reason in a minute. It's a 6-inch ruler, which is nice because it's a smaller size, obviously. It's 6 inches instead of 12. And when we're working in a smaller space, like a traveler's notebook, it's nice to have a smaller little ruler. This is a steel ruler. Steel is nice because it gives me some substance as I'm sticking the letters to, right? If I have a more bendy, flexy one, it's a little bit harder. It won't quite do what I want in a sec. Well, I'll show you. So I love that. And then feeling when is going to go below. So I love the feeling when. What? Tell me in the chat. Tell me. Now, we'll also do a giveaway today. Well, not today, but for this video. I will do the giveaway, like I said at the beginning. If you missed it, I have you leave a comment on the video when the video is over. And tell me you love the feeling when what? I love the feeling when what? Now, this is where I have to watch out because there are people out there who come into the comments on the video and write horrible things, like very suggestive things. So this one I'll have to for sure watch for. And then I just report them to YouTube, and then the comment goes away, and then I guess they try to get them. I mean, well, there's nothing they can do to get them except for, ban them from YouTube, and then they just sign up for a new user ID. All right, I love that. Now, this is fun to use the white. We don't get to use white very often, at least I don't. But white will give such a nice contrast up here, right? So this is going to have to go right here. I love that. And love is probably going to be too much. All right, so let's see where we want this. Oh, this is the other reason I use the ruler. I probably better put this down now. Let's get this down. My little pocket. I will probably have to come in. I might have to come back in with that washi because I was trying to go so fast that I didn't do that very well. That little guy can come in like that. It's kind of our nice, fun little layered washi. All right, so now I want, not my tape runner. I need a little glue pen because trying to get my tape runner on that is going to be too hard. So glue pen are awesome little tools to have when you are working with smaller die cuts like that. Whoop. And then the tweezers will make it really easy. So I just wanted to tuck that up under there a little bit, I think. Now what I could probably come in and do is just piece together a little piece of washi and just fix that. All right, so there's our little double, and it kind of now ties in with all the white up there. And then the white of our title is going to tie in. Hi, Susie. Good morning, making a grad card. Very fun. All right, so now with my ruler, because I have my title on the ruler, I can move this wherever I want. Do I want it down here? Do I want it up here? Do I want it here? Oh, no, I don't think I want it in there. I mean, but that could be an alternative, and that's where it's nice to have a ruler. I can decide I want it up here and want it here, but if I could be moving around and I think, oh, well, that would be fun to have it there. I can decide where I want it, but then if I decide I want it here, I can also get it centered very easily. So I think we put this guy right here. Now, all I'm going to do is take my finger and press down on the upper parts of those little letters and then gently peel this back. Okay, there we go. Nice straight line, centered exactly where I want it to be. And I need a little dot to the top of the eye. And that white is just going to pop so nicely on there. So these are Doodlebug My type stickers, and I have lots of different Doodlebug Alpha stickers on my website. A couple different white fonts. And then this one comes in like 20, not that many, a lot of different colors. I love that. And then I need to do Feeling When. So what I'm thinking is I have a little bit more room down here. Do I want to do like Feeling When? Let's try it. Let's try it. I know. So I think Terry mentioned that we had not heard from Nick yet. Nick's my husband. Oh, hi, Sandy. You're at Dixon. Oh, fun. And Francis. Please say hello to Francis for me and the others that you are with. I'm at Dixon Scrapbook Store with Francis and others, celebrating 2 birthdays. Well, pass on my happy birthday wishes. Dixon is Northern California. I just know it's kind of near Los Gatos, right? San Jose area-ish. From when I used to teach at Islands Creative Escape or Creative Escape Los Gatos, or that's how I think I know some of you. I love the Feeling When. Oh, I have my window open. I don't know if you guys can, well, I don't know. They're doing something at the house that they're building. So I keep thinking, oh my gosh, they've got to be done soon. This is Sacramento. Okay, closer to Sacramento. This is the last house on the street. Well, it's the last house in the whole part of our neighborhood. And then all of them are done. We've been here 4 years. That's a lot of building. A lot of building. Well, there were 4 of us that all moved in with the same week, and we were the first 4. So yes, we'll be very glad when it's all done. But you can hear them. I love the feeling. Oh yeah, see, I can already tell. I am going to need to stack this Feeling When, because if I do feeling and then when's here, that is really wide. Where this is all narrow, then all of a sudden it's really wide, and I don't want it to be wide. So we'll do that. Feeling, although I think what I'll also end up doing is kind of going up high like this. Because if I don't go up high, even though the F and the L are going to go into the washi a little bit, if I don't do that, then this goes down, which is okay. But then look at trapped white space. That space right there is trapped, and that space right there is trapped. So it just kind of looks a little odd. So I'm going to bring this up like this. And again, that's another helpful use of your ruler is I wouldn't have known that I didn't like the way it looked this way until I started figuring out where to put feeling and then when, and it would have been so wide. So that little ruler technique is super helpful, I think. Oopsie. And every once in a while that happens, especially with these little guys, because these are so thin. This little like Times New Roman-ish font is super thin. So sometimes they'll move a tad or not pop off. Okay, I'll put a little dot on my eye and then just do the when. All right, so remember, you guys, I don't know, I wasn't looking, I've been working. You love the feeling when what? Did anybody tell me in the chat you love the feeling when what? I love the feeling when. Obviously, let's please keep it PG-13. No, let's keep it G rated. You love the feeling when? When what? You love the feeling when what? Well, and here's the thing, it's your list. Whatever you want to have on your list, you put on your list. And what's kind of nice about a list like this is because it's in a pocket, your list is tucked in a pocket, you know, you could write whatever you want on it because it's not kind of out there in the open, right? Terry loves the feeling when it snows, just not in May. I love the feeling of like the first snow. Oh, Debbie, when one of our sons calls for no reason. I love that. I'm going to have to add that to my list, I think. Yep. Oh, Debbie, I love the feeling with the ocean with the sand between my toes. Love it too. Yes. Love the ocean. Martha, I love the feeling when my grandson smiles at me. Oh, so nice. I love it. I love the feeling of sunshine on my face. Yes. Val, hi, Val. Grandkids gives me hugs. Warm water in the shower. Yes. Oh, another grandkid, Winnell. When my grandkids come running up to give me a hug. Looking at my freshly gardened backyard. Oh my gosh, look what I did. I love the feeling what? I love the feeling when? Yes, I love the feeling when. Good thing that it's spelled with those two letters. I got too carried away. You know what probably happened there? I was talking and I probably said the word what, and that just translated in my head that I was spelling what, not when. Yeah, I love the feeling when. Sunshine on your back. Oh, Debbie, when my husband fixes us cocktails and we sit out on the patio. Debbie also loves the feeling when she can say she's retired. Huh, I bet, Debbie. Oh, I love the feeling when my three boys are all together. That's Cynthia. Oh, Lulu girl, when I get home from work, kick my heels off and sit and have a nice cup of coffee. Love it. Older grandsons give me a hug. Diane, there's a good one, right? Because young kids, right? They're all over it. But sometimes the older, sorry, it's a little bit more special, huh? A little bit more special. When people in our new community call me my name. Oh, yes, right? Yes. You know, that's a hard one for me because I have such a different name. Sometimes people won't call me by my name because they don't know how to say it. Hi, Francis. Is it your birthday? Sometimes people won't call me by my name because they don't know how to pronounce it, right? And, you know, I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes I don't know how to pronounce my name, so I don't know. But sometimes if I don't know how to pronounce someone's name, I won't call them by name because I don't want to mess it up, right? I don't want to mess it up. But it doesn't bother me when people mispronounce my name because it's just part of having an odd name, right? So don't be afraid to call someone by their name. If you're, well, it's one thing if you don't know how to pronounce it. It's another thing when it's the wrong name. Those are two different things, right? I love the feeling when. Oh, well, I need to do this. I think I need to have like the trailing dots. 1, 2, 3. Step on this. Diane, yes. Diane, yes. Yes, I need to add that to my list. For sure, right? When you step on the scale and it's a good thing. Okay, I love the feeling when. There we go. So it's pretty plain right now, right? I mean, it's really plain. It is really plain because there's nothing up here and there's nothing in here. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at, no. Lots of color, good size. However, stripes doesn't work. Good times. That could work, but it's kind of the same green color. We have a lot of green going on, right? We have a lot of green going on. Nah. Okay, so the problem with this, I think, is that I love the good times feeling when it's like kind of too many words, right? Too many words in there. So where is that package? Let's do die cuts. I'm going to pull out some more die cuts and see what's in the rest of these die cuts. Maybe, though, we might just end up with this. Even though I know it says love, we might end up with that. Because that kind of works. And then maybe I put in some color up there. Let's see here. These are the little bit smaller die cuts. Oh, look at clouds. This has, this collection has some rose gold foil accents. Enjoy now. Happiness. Oh yeah, so it looks like I'm not going to make a tab up there now, huh? Note to self. Ooh, I kind of like that there. I kind of like that there. Look at you, tiger could go there. Now, I know the tiger's kind of odd, right? But it could go there. It brings in a lot of color, doesn't it? Or rainbow. Or there was a little sun somewhere. No. I know, this is, you guys are gonna think I'm weird, but I kind of like the tiger there. I kind of like the tiger. It's kind of unexpected there, don't you think? Kind of unexpected. So now, there's something that needs to go in the note to self area, right? Something would need to go in the note to self area. Oh, there's a sun. So here's the deal. If we didn't want note to self there, look at, we could, no, that doesn't work. Tell your story could go here, right? We're kind of telling a story. No. I just kind of think I like that tiger. I know. And then I just got to figure out what goes in here. Okay. So I might have to find a little quote that I could write in there. That would be fitting, right? About, I don't know. But I think this is what I'm going to go with. I like how this fills in a lot of that area because we had a lot of kind of blank space there. We had talked earlier, one of the things I could have done to not have so much of blank space there was to just cut my pocket down and then more of my list would be showing. But I kind of like this. I think we're going to go with this. I love the feeling when the tiger growls at me. I know, that's exactly. Sarah said, you do you. Yep, that's what I say. You do you. Oh, Phyllis, I love the feeling when I can create late in the night, early in the morning. It's so quiet. That's good. That's a good one. They're all good, right? They're all good because if you love it, then it's good, right? Let's get our glue pen out here. Okay. I know, some of you are like, oh my gosh, she put a freaking tiger on there. Well, I can put the tiger on there because there's a tiger in the collection. I love the feeling when. Okay, so now up here, I need something up here, right? I need something up here. Where was that? Oh, all right. Now, this could fill the space very well, but I won't use it. The reason I won't use this here is because there's a lot of words on this thing, really. There's a lot of words already. So if this happy went here, it would fill the space, but look at words, 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 words. It's too much, right? Too much. So that won't go there. What I'm thinking, though, is word strip stickers. So let's look and see what we have. We have spontaneous, wonderful. Wonderful could work. Relax could work. I don't know. Again, we might have the same problem, though, where it's too many words. Too many words. right? Because I'm sure I love to relax. I love the feeling when I can relax and there's nobody bugging me, right? Okay, don't like that because of that little scoop right there. But I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm just going to leave it there for now. And I think what I will do is I'll do a few things on my list and then we'll keep going so I can fill in the rest of my list later. So let's do, oops, I'm making a giant mess, aren't I? Karen completed a 2-page spread on current faves and it's unexpected faves. Oh, that's fun. That's good. Hi, Susan. Love the feeling I will have tomorrow when I get to see our son for the first time since November. Oh, yes. That will be such a lovely reunion, won't it? Melissa, I love the feeling when kids are struggling with something and they have a victory. Oh, my goodness, right? Yes. Oh, it's hard to see kids struggle. It's hard to see any kids struggle, but it's hard to see your own kids struggle, right? Because parent, you want to fix it. You want to fix it, right? You just want to fix it. Grandparent, parent, niece, or not niece, aunt, uncle, family, friend, whatever it is, teacher. Yeah, it's hard to see kids struggle. We just want to fix it for them. All right, so here we go. For my list. Where did they go? Oh, Heart Sprinkles. It's a new color palette of Heart Sprinkles with the black. But I think what I want to do is, I'm thinking maybe I need to just break up that little space right there a little bit. Just that black is just a little bit too much stuff going on. So what if I did a little yellow? I don't really like it there. There, by the tiger. Yeah, softens the tiger. We're working on softening the tiger a little bit, right? All right. So for my list, I'm only going to do 1 or 2 of these and then we'll move on. But I am going to grab, of course, the bullets because that is honestly, this is probably the stamp set that I use most often and that's why I made it, because bullets, right? We always need bullets for our things. So we might as well use the heart because it's all about loving when. We'll use the little solid heart and the stylus, put it like that. And I have a feeling scattered straw. I think scattered straw would kind of work with that. Not sure if that will still live there or not, but let's find scattered straw. Yellows would be back here. Red, oh no, red, orange, yellow. Assuming I put it there. Although, you know what? I don't think I put it in there. Yeah, not squeezed lemonade. Mustard seed, kind of. Ooh, fossilized amber. I think scattered straw is going to be off. And clearly, scattered straw, I must think, is more of a kind of neutral because it's probably back in here. Wherever it is. Where is it? Brushed corduroy. Where's scattered straw? Oh, I bet it's in here. There we go. Oh, look it. Look. I was pretty on, huh? Scattered straw. That's what it is. All right. So start to know your colors. Let's just do a little double check. Check. In our stamping notebook. Look at what Karen, so you guys know me so well. Karen said, I think you will like your list better. I think you will like it better how that looks if I outline it, right? I bet she's right. All right, I'll come back and do that. And so look at, now I can just come in and make all my little bullets with the hearts here. And then I can have all that stamped and, ooh, now the only thing I probably should have thought before I did that, I may have to end up doing a different library card because I don't think some of these things might need to be longer, right? Let's get to my list. And look. Okay, love the feeling when. Oh, half hour Lil, and this is funny. Literally the very first thing on my list, and it's only 3 minutes away. The very first thing on my list is I love the feeling when it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 12:34. Look, it's right there, the first thing on my list. I love it when it's 12:34 on the clock. When the clock hits 1, 2, 3, 4. We've talked about that. Some people call it angel time. I think I see this a lot. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 a lot on the clock, and I always think that's my grandma. I don't know why. I think it's my grandma saying, "Hey, I'm thinking about you." My grandma has passed away. Oh, here's another one. A purchase ends in double zeros. Don't you love it when you buy something and it's like your total is $23 and it has tax, but it just happened to end in like the 00 at the end. I love that. And it's just silly, right? I love it when the bed is made. Yeah, I feel much, I don't know, more calm when the bed's made. If the bed's a mess, then I don't feel calm. Lainey, I think of my grams when it's 3:33. I love that. When the bed is made. A good song comes on the radio. Plays on the radio. The radio or Pandora or Spotify or, whatever you listen to. But, you're cruising along and then the good song plays on the radio. I love it when the sunroof is open. I have a thing about, I like a sunroof in my car. I love it, love it, love it. So like it when the sunroof's open. Okay. I love it when there's one left. Okay. And I don't mean when there's only one left and I get it. I mean, I love it when there's one left. Like you're like, oh yay, there's still one left. And then you get to have it. So I love it when there's one left. I love it when a plan comes together. I said I was only going to do 1 or 2 of these. Isn't that funny? I love it. Okay, I'm going to stop there. But I can continue my list. Then on the back side, if I have some that need a little bit more writing, then I have room on the back to do some with a little bit more writing. All right. And then I will figure out, yes, I think we need something a little bit else up here to help fix it. And then I will come up with a little quote or something that I'll put in there. When my husband cleans the bathrooms. Oh yeah, that's a good one. All right, so there we go. That is it's 12. No, it is. See, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 12:34. And Colleen's always very good about pointing that out. Thank you. All right, so here we go. That is our second list. So we're gonna get started on the third one. And I need to stop at 1 o'clock, and it is now 12:34 Mountain Time. I live in Utah, so it's Mountain Time. So it's 12:34. All right, so let's put this back. Remember, public service announcement, always put those little tiny ones back, because if not, you'll lose them. You will lose them, and then that will be sad. Okay, there we go. Hi, Marie. Nice to see you. All right, so our third list is a double pager, which means that I need to skip this page because this was a single page list. I will come back and still work on this. Next time I'm ready for a single page list, this is where I'll come. But next one's a double page list. So our last list topic for today is things I miss when. So things I miss when. This one, I'm filling out the when, is when our kids were little. So things I miss when Jack and Sam were little boys or little babies or whatever, when they were little. This is a list that was suggested by Wanda Squires. So things you miss when, and you can feel free to fill in the blank, right? Things I miss when it's winter. Things I miss when it's summer. Things I miss when I don't know. Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. Things I miss when. So mine is things I miss when my kids were little. So this morning I was getting ready to, I was getting things ready for the morning, and somehow something hit me and I went, oh, you know what? We need this to be a 2-page list. You know why? Because things I miss when our kids were little, and then what we'll finish it up with next week is things I don't miss. Okay, so for me, things I miss when our kids were little, things I don't miss about when our kids were little. Okay, so somehow I'm gonna have to say like miss and don't miss. I think those are I think those are gonna be the things that I want to call out. So I'll probably maybe do some stamping. Miss, don't miss. We'll have to see, because don't miss. Sorry, I'm just thinking. But miss and don't miss. And then I'll have to say, like, when our kids were I need to flush this out in my head now that I'm doing a 2-page list. Things I miss when our kids were little, and then I don't know. I have to think about this. So let's look at this. Let's do this. Let's grab our little piece of paper here and our pencil. So if this is our 2-page list right here, like this. All right, so if I wanted to do like miss, and then I'd have to probably do something like, well, maybe that works. Don't miss, right? But then I have to figure out how in the heck do I work in the, unless I did something like this. No, when our kids were little, things I miss. Things I miss. Miss, don't miss. Rotate the whole list to be vertical versus horizontal. So I think what Karen's saying is, so let's put this down here. Karen's saying this. Miss, and then don't miss. Like that? Miss and don't miss? I know this one's going to take this. Oh, I know what I'll do. Let me look at something. I'm going to bring something in. I'm glad I haven't sent these off to Amy yet to photograph. All right. Past, and this is what we can do, right? This is what we can do. Oh, which makes me think maybe I talked about last week about, I think I'm going to do an idea book for lists. And it'll have photos of all my lists. And I was trying to figure out how best to organize them. But maybe what we need to do is maybe I also need to do an index in the back. And then an index in the back would have like vertical lists or things like that. Where, because now really what I need is I need an index. I need an index so I can say, oh, I know I've done some vertical lists before. How did I do the vertical list to get the whole title in? So I just am, okay, here's one. No, this was focus. So there's a kind of a vertical. So this would be, this is exactly why I would have, this is why I would want a, this is why I would want an idea book, because it'd be really easy. Okay, never have I ever, but I have. So that's kind of the same thing, right? Where it's a 2-pager that contrasts each other, but that's easy because it just has the whole title in there. My issue here is that, okay, here's another one, child, adult, and then here I did favorite books. Oh, look at love, hate, and that's easy, like love, hate, right? That's where I was thinking like miss and don't miss. So I think what's going to happen, you guys, I think that we're probably just going to brainstorm for this last list right now. I don't know that I will start anything on this list yet. Because I really like the idea of this, miss and don't miss. And then I have to figure out where I put the rest of it, right? I've got to figure out how to explain whatever it is. Yeah. Oh, this is the list. I hate that list. I probably won't even put it in the book. It's the worst ever. Hate the way it turned out. Yeah. So maybe I need like a little, maybe I make like a little word strip somewhere. And the word strip is more like that when our kids were little. Or when the boys were little. Maybe that's what I have. So when the boys were little. So if we do that, when the boys were little, now watch this. Last week we kind of ran into this a little bit. Let me move these off to the side just for a second. When we did this, so we had a title that needed to cross both pages. Okay, so what if it looked like this? If it said, oh, see, this is gonna look weird. I was thinking that it could be something like that, where it's like, when the boys were little, but that's gonna, I know that'll bug me. Maybe that's the way we do it, when the boys were little. Because I can stamp miss there, I can stamp don't miss here, I can use the same size font stamp. And then here it might kind of bug me, because if I'm using the same font, the same size in a stamp, I've got all this open space here, and then it's kind of cramped there. But here, if I write miss when the boys were little, right, and so I stamp miss and then write when the boys were little, and then don't miss, then that's understood because it's a miss. What if you did one title on the top and one on the bottom of the other page? Okay, so what Beach Gal is talking about here is, what if we did this? So, miss, don't miss, like that. And then when the boys were little. All right, so this is what I'm going to try. Well, so what's going to get interesting about this is what I wanted to use. This is when I was going to use this vertical. Okay, look at. I know it's going to be an all-day one, right? Let's see. Vertical on left page, on the side when the words are little, on the top I miss and don't miss. Oh, so, okay. This is when we need the eraser, right? So let's see. Martha said on the side when the boys were little. So Martha's saying this. When the boys were little. Like that, right? And then up here we have miss. Oh, that would be centered. And then don't miss. Like that, yeah? Like middle sketch, but bottom on right. Okay, now I'm confused. Okay, so then my thought was I was going to use this. So I thought this would be really fun to bring in some color. So if I was going to just use it as a strip, but if I use it as a strip, it might get a little weird with this being there because I have everything so vertical. So then what could be kind of fun is then what if I just started tearing these off into their little stamps and had them as little, little blocks of color throughout the list. So we just have like, that would go here and then I'd write some, you know, I'd be kind of doing my writing. Oh, I've got to be careful with this. I'd be kind of doing my writing all around. Like if we started out with, because I'd have to do this in rainbow order because it would bug me if I didn't. Like our own little color blocks. So if we had like pink, and then I'm doing some writing. Oh, I don't want to add this here, but oh well. The red, and then the orange. So it would just kind of be this block, these color blocks everywhere. And then the yellow, that could be kind of fun. Okay, well, This is, yes. Okay, so clearly this is not happening today, friends. This one is not happening today because sometimes, well, I had a whole plan in place. I even had this was going to initially be a 1-page list, and this is where my strip of that washi tape was going to be, and then I was going to try to do my list at an angle. Yeah, but when I changed it up, when I thought, oh no, let's make this a 2-pager, then now I haven't thought about it enough. So I will put some time into thinking about how this list will work. And here's the thing, even if your list topic is not about when the kids were little, it's about something different, then you still might want to do the miss and don't miss. So you know what thought process. So S. Jameson, sometimes, right, the thought process, generally you guys don't see a lot of that, right? Because I've already done all of that here ahead of time to figure out kind of what I want to do. Like this, look at, that was the sketch for that list, right? Totally basic, but at least I usually have an idea in mind. But yeah, you guys generally don't see that thought process or hear the thought process as I think through it. Oh, I was just going to say something. Now I don't remember. Oh, yeah. So Karen just said, and let's talk about that for a second. She said, this washi is fun idea for just doing like random block placement, even though I didn't make them random when I put them on there. But it's kind of a fun way to break up a list, even if, you're not using much other product. And here's the thing. If you have the washi, you could use the washi. If not, you could do this exact same thing with colored pencils or markers, right? You could just make a block of, I don't know, whatever. You could just make little blocks of your colored pencils, and that's a fun way to make a list, an easy way to make a list. Susan, I love watching you think out loud. Gives me lots of ideas. Yeah, the thinking out loud sometimes is dangerous, right? So what I'm going to do, I saw that Phyllis said, question, how did you do your ink swatches? So I'll just end with that. And some people have told Phyllis, ink swatches, I have a stamp. I created a stamp because to me, it's real. Well, I have a lot of different, clearly, I mean, these are all Distress Oxides, but I have a lot of different color inks. And because I like to use inks a lot. And so I've put in an investment in inks. So I have lots of different oranges and yellows and greens and blues or whatever. But the more colors you have, obviously, the more helpful it is to make swatches of the actual stamped ink. Now, you can see, like this one is Blueprint Sketch. So I see what that blue looks like. But sometimes the color translates very differently from there to when you actually stamp with it. So that's why I find it's really easy to do this. Besides the fact that if you have, let's say, 40 different inks, you'd have to pull out, go find all your blues, and then look and see which blue would be the best, as opposed to just being able to, open up your swatch. So there is a stamp. This is the first of 3, actually. And I think I've shared this before. This is the stamp set. So there's 2 different sizes, and people have said, well, why do you do 2 different sizes? Well, because why not? This is this type of ink that I use, the squares, but if you wanted to use that instead, you could. And then there's words that go with it: color, brand, type, mix. So if you're mixing or blending 2 different colors, you can do mix and the line plus the line note, however you want to do it. But generally, since this whole entire swatch is Ranger Distress Oxides, then I didn't label it anymore because I know that's what they are. So that is first of 3 new. Well, not new. That one has been out for, I don't know, a couple months. But there are 2 more Swatch This stamps coming out. The next one that is actually in production right now. I'm just waiting for the first samples so I can get them and test them to make sure everything looks okay. So those should be here oh, here, let me do this. Let me flip the camera since we're going to end. And I might as well see you guys and talk to you while I'm doing this. Those will, oh yeah. So those, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I will have and be ready to ship. Hang on. Flip the camera. But the next set that's coming is Swatch This Washi. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so fun. The Swatch This Washi. Sorry, it's going to bug me. The Swatch This Washi, because some of us have a lot of washi. And if it's all, depending on where you store it, if it's in a drawer or a bin or whatever, and you don't know what you have, then you don't use it. But the other reason I think it's good to swatch your washi, and you'll see me do this a lot when I get new washi, is that when you see washi on a roll, well, like, look at this. When you see this on a roll, it's really hard to get a feel for, you know, kind of what that looks like. But then when you do this, right, and swatch it out, you're like, oh my gosh, it gives you a whole bunch more ideas of what you could do with it. So I think sometimes we have a hard time with washi when it's on a roll because it looks very different than when you actually put it on paper, right? Because you're getting a little bit of the color and the pattern showing through because of the roll. So sometimes it's hard to tell. So I like to swatch my washi. Which one? This one, Karen? Karen said, is that the washi on your website? This one? Yes, that one is. That is the sherbet. Spectrum sherbet. There are two that are the like that, the postage stamp. This one is the Insta postage stamp. So look at that. Is that not like the happiest little thing ever? All right. Oh, well, I just had an idea. So watch this. If we end up with this middle sketch, and I'm like, oh, but I can't really then use that washi vertically. Well, guess what I could do? I could use the washi like horizontally maybe, and then I don't know, or maybe up here, who knows. But seeing it like that horizontally kind of gives you an idea. Totally off track. That was the ink swatching stamp. The person that asked that. Colleen said, what is the card size for your ink swatches? So these, I did 3x3. So your stamp, though, that's just a 3x3, and 3x3 is obviously really easy to cut. So generally what I do is I cut these out first. I actually have a blog post coming. It's about halfway done. I just need to take some more photographs. But I use my Misty, and so that makes it really easy. That's why I cut those guys first. Anyhow, you'll see. But those are 3x3 when I do my little swatches like that, Colleen. Okay, friends. Oh, S. Jameson, you're very nice. Thank you. S. Jameson said, it's been a while since I've had a chance to catch your videos. You look fantastic. Thank you. I've lost some weight, feel much healthier. And it's very interesting because I've been doing these videos now for more than 2 years. And I go back and have to find some information on one or find something, and the video starts playing. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because we change, right? We change. And so, yeah, you can watch the progression of, anyhow, but thank you. Okay, friends, I think, oh, Karen, Karen brought up a point too. Karen said, plus they may have variances of color based on paper used. Bright white versus off-white will create different looks. That's if you're swatching your washi. But the stamps, for this washi, I think you guys are going to be really excited about. I think you're going to be really excited because they're very fun and very little kind of artsy, and they'll be fun. All right, friends. Oh, Nancy, you're so, thank you. Thank you, Nancy. All right. Ink too. Yeah, so there's Swatch This inks. There'll be Swatch This washi that's coming. I'll probably, as soon as I get the samples, and hopefully early next week, and then I approve them, then I'll put them up for pre-order. But I'll probably have them, everything in hand, ready to ship in about 2 weeks. The third one, and that is a couple months down the road, but the third set of Swatch This will be Swatch This, I don't know, pens or something. I don't know. I haven't figured out what to title it yet, but it'll basically be stamps to help you swatch your markers, pens, and pencils, like colored pencils, because that's usually what I need. If I'm using a colored pencil, I have a lot of different colored pencils, and I want to be able to swatch those too. Yes, we will not be together next weekend, you guys. Next weekend is Memorial Day here in the States, and I will be out of town. So We will not be together next weekend, but we will be together that whatever the first weekend is then in June. And then things may get a little sporadic over the summer. I have a couple of trips planned, and then you never know when Nick and I will just decide to go and hop in Harvey and for a couple of days. But I will absolutely do my best to try to not do 2 weekends away in a row, because I miss it. I miss it. I want to be here with you guys and do what we do, because I think it's so much fun and I enjoy it. So that's my goal, is to not miss, to not miss, you know what I mean. I know, you know what, Karen, I know it has been a little bit every other week. It has been a little bit every other week. That's not by design. Cause I just as soon do it every week, but if I'm traveling, then that's what happens. Cause I've been joining Nick on some of his business trips. So, that was also why. Oh yeah, Karen, I know the fuel prices. I know, but you know what? Oh, we actually probably, well, anyhow, yes. Yes, I know fuel is very expensive, but at this point we're also, we're maybe like 3 hours away. So I think the one that we're doing today is, I don't know, maybe only 140 miles away or something, but the last part of it, you're on kind of a dirt road for a while. So, yeah, so it's not, I don't know, maybe 130, 140. So, but yeah, it's gas price is horrible. Okay, let's see. Yes. It's good. It's good. Since we can get out, then we should, right? Since things have changed quite a bit in the last year, to me, it's important that we get out. And that's how then I can come back and work 15, 16, 17 hours a day, is by taking a day or 2 off, because that's just what I do. Okay, friends. So, yeah, we are 1 o'clock. So now Nick is not, this will be interesting. Nick's not here yet. Nick also did not pop in. Usually if he's golfing, he pops in on the turn when they go from 9 to 18 or whatever. So, yeah, I hope he's not going to be late. Yes. Anyhow, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy the rest of your week. Now, enjoy the rest of your weekend, but we won't be together next weekend either. So over the holiday, and I know it's not really a holiday. It is a day off that many of us have, but just remember what it's for. Anyhow, have a wonderful next 2 weeks, and I will see you guys the first Saturday in June, right? I will see some of you Monday night for the Let's Get Crafty mini book project kit. If you ordered that, class is Monday night. I'm going to try to get a reminder out for that, but I already sent an email for that, so you should have that. If not, send me an email, because you need the link, and double check your spam or junk folder before you do. And then Wednesday, I will see some of you for the June setup for the early summer traveler notebook class. Okay, friends, take care, stay safe, have a great weekend, and I will see you in 2 weeks.